Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show. Today's a big day for the nation. Now, obviously, nothing can be officially official with the Klint Kubiak interview. The Raiders cannot hire him because you got to wait until after the Super Bowl for that to happen. But I knew this. I knew all day today I was going to be stuck on my phone, waiting for any information humanly possible out there on the Raiders interview with Seahawks offensive coordinator Klint Kubiak. If you feel the exact same way, because there's a lot of cool stuff happening today, right? Senior Bowl's about to go down. Chugs and I are watching WWE here in Saudi Arabia. There's UFC tonight. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening. On top of the fact that it's Saturday, and I want y'all to be able to spend time with your family, because I'll tell you this, I can't wait to spend time with Chuck and my wife when I get off of work today. But I mean this. I am excited to see what is potentially said, what new reports come out, if anything comes out, in regards to the whole situation with Klint Kubiak. So as soon as we get an update, I'm going to talk about that here on today's program. On top of that, though, I'm going to treat today's show very much the way that I would treat a Tuesday Live segment, where we're going to be doing some free agent targets that have some connections to Klint Kubiak if he ends up getting hired. And then we haven't done this probably for 2 months at this point, a Raiders Report mailbag. So if you want to get featured on one of our shows, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to skip the line. The other thing that we're going to do today, we're going to do a duck race, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 to get in for a chance to win a little bit of money. I'm also going to do a Kubiak raffle. We've been doing a lot of Fernando Mendoza shirts. So you know what? We're going to give away a Klint Kubiak Raiders jersey. If he doesn't get hired, don't yell at me. Don't get mad at me. But I think there's a reason why we're here. And I think the reason why we're here today is because we believe Klint Kubiak will be the next Raiders head coach. Now, I did see somebody earlier said, Reed, start the show. I don't know if it's good news. I think it's good news. I got my guy Chugs here in the building. It's been a little bit. Give me an H for hire. Give me a P for pass. Do you want the Raiders to hire Klint Kubiak? Let me know down below. You know what that reminded me of? What? I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Where I don't know what the scene is, but it's
I think it's at their wedding, the reception or whatever.
I hear Girls' Day.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sandler when he's watching Beal get dressed up. No, he's on the phone at the bar. He's at the phone at the bar, and he's Girls' Day. And he's got,
they
sunglasses on.
They do, the girls just want to have fun.
I'll tell you this. I might act that way for Beal as well. Give me an H for hire.
Clint calls, Raiders Day.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. What's sad is there'd be people that are I don't think we can hire him anymore. You know that there's people out there. What up, Max Santana? He's going to say hire. I see Bayou Raider here in the building saying H for hire. We got a lot of H's down below, and there's a reason why. We already got nearly 500 people in the building on a Saturday. It's because I know I'm not the only one that bleeds silver and black, and I know I'm not the only one that went to bed last night anxious. My wife and I, we went to this event. Alex got invited. She knows literally everybody in Dallas, so we always get invited to these events, free food, free drinks, sign me the F up. So we're at this event last night, and she's like, "Are you okay? You seem anxious." And she's like, "You're looking at your phone a lot." And I'm like, I hate to be that guy, but I have been on the edge of my seat waiting for any type of update at all around Klint Kubiak. Do you know why? He's my number one candidate, and he's been my number one candidate.
And Mitch, I'm the same way. On game days, my wife, it'll be a Saturday. We'll be watching college football, maybe, a little basketball action, some hockey action. She's like, "Why are you on your phone?" And I'm like, "Babe, I'm trying to hit my lineup."
You're like, "Babe, check out my PP. Prize Picks. Get $50 when you play $5.
That's a small PP.
It's a big lineup, huge lineup. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Shout out to Bayou Raider. Find your community on Prize Picks. With the new social feeds feature, you can share Prize Picks with your friends, copy their lineups from winners with a single click.
Do you want to see Reed's PP?
If anybody wants to see it, I see Yoda Jenkins clearly does. Here's Reed's Prize Picks lineup. Drake May, more on the 0.5 passing yards. And then I respect the fact that he went with a little bit of a Klint Kubiak stack. Now, I'll say this. It's not a Prize Pick stack, because a Prize Pick stack is picking the same player up to 3 times. Klint Kubiak stack to me this week on Prize Picks is when you pick multiple players from Seattle in the big game and you decide to go more. I will say it's really easy to play if my dad can do it. Some people might say a caveman can do it. I would say you can do it. Download the Prize Picks app today. Make sure that you use code CLNS to be able to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So the way that today's show is going to go is this. If you guys want to get your questions, you want to get your comments up here on the program, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to be able to do so. Good to have you back, Chugs.
Good to be back, Motorcycle Prophet.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been asking, where's Chugs? Where's he been? And again, like for us, we're always trying to do our best here as a company to get as much content out as humanly possible. And because the weather has been so bad, the snow, the sleet, Reed's able to walk into work. Jeremy really hasn't been able to do it as easily,
and
so
I
that's
know
why.
Everybody's laughing at Texas because they're like, "Oh, wow, you get some snow and everybody shuts down." Mitch is from PA.
I am.
He's from a part of the country that gets a lot of snow, a lot worse weather than us. Mitch will be able to testify that it's not us. It's the city of Dallas is just not prepared for any ice or snow ever.
Again, I've seen videos of people skiing. I've seen people like literally ice skating down the roads. Chuck the other day took me on a trip. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. We put his little vest on him. He was pulling me around. I didn't even have to walk. It was honestly, it was so much fun. But yeah, the ice down here in Dallas has been a real big issue. So if you guys want to get your questions, your comments up here on the show, hashtag Raiders, or you can skip the line by sending in a super chat.
You wanna tickle your Clint today?
Oh man, I don't know if I should say yes or no to that answer.
Type Y for yes, in for no. Do you want to tickle your Clint today? You want to have your Clint tickled?
Huh. I feel like we're gonna have to make something out of that. I don't know what it's gonna be, but tickle my Clint. Here are my Clint's deals of the day. $5, you're gonna get one Clint ticket.
It's not big, but once you find it, it's bam.
Bingo bango. $10, you're gonna get 3 tickets. $20, you're gonna be able to get in our Venmo duck race. If you bang on today's show, I'm going to give you 100 raffle tickets for a shot to win a Klint Kubiak Raiders jersey. If you bang on Venmo, I'm going to give you a bang, and I'm going to give you 200 tickets. Now, I'll say this. I do not have the updated numbers for our January bang race like we always keep track of, but I'll just say it like this. Raider Ron and Lord Cameron Abbott are by far the people that are the furthest in the league. The next closest person is LA Crash Dog, who I'm rocking today. He was the MVP on our show on Wednesday. I don't think anybody's going to take down LCA or Raider on, and if you do, well, I guarantee you this. We'll be here a little bit later than I originally expected. We might even turn it into a shit show. But the jersey that we're going to be giving away, it's going to be a 26 because it's year 2026. It's going to say Kubiak on the back unless you want it to say something a little bit different. But I figured we're here today on our off day. I saw a comment on the video that I just published like, all these guys do anyway is sit up here and talk. I want you to know it's a very small part of what we actually do. There's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a lot of extra moving parts that you guys don't actually get to see. So I do want you to realize this. I'm doing it because it's my job, but I also love to be able to talk about the Raiders. Honestly, though, you guys should show a little bit more love to Chugs for coming in here on a Saturday, being able to do this Raider show. Because, again, if it wasn't for him, If it wasn't for Reed, I wouldn't be able to make the amount of content that we are making right now for Raider Nation. Super chat coming in from Ivan. Schefter and Fowler said it's very probable Klint Kubiak to Las Vegas. You know, again, I don't care if they say it's 99.9% sure. I don't care. I am going to be the person that sits here and goes, until it's signed the dotted line, I'm not going to feel better about it. I do feel like Clint's going to be the next Raiders head coach. I do, because 2026 has felt different. I literally just dropped a video why I was so confident about it. But if you just look at recency, like I'm talking just the last 2 years, the Cliff Kingsbury situation where Adam Schefter tweeted out, Cliff Kingsbury is going to be the next offensive coordinator of the Las Vegas Raiders. Ended up not happening. Why? The deal wasn't signed. You look at a situation like last year where everybody, Vincent Bonsignore included, said, hey, I believe Ben Johnson's going to be the next head coach here of the Las Vegas Raiders. Adam Schefter on Wednesday said, every single head coaching job is going to be filled by Wednesday. So I know Schefter is as good of a source as you're going to get. Jeremy Fowler is as good of a source as you're going to get. But coaching cycles always prove that not everybody knows nearly as much as they thought. I'm also a very good example. I thought Davis Webb had a better chance. I'm starting to find out now that it's like it's always been Klint Kubiak, but Davis Webb was somebody that they were interested in. But coaches, a lot of stuff gets leaked. A lot of rumors are out there, and I think that it's really difficult this time of the year because agents have a lot of control. The more an agent leaks out, the higher that asking price ends up going up for their respective client. So be honest with me right here. We're talking about how nervous we are, and I am pretty nervous. I'm telling you this right now. I am still at the point where I'm a 5. I'm a 5 because I do believe the Raiders are going to hire Clint, but then at the exact same time, Raiders devil on their shoulders going, we don't get anything nice. We can't have anything nice. And as soon as you get your hopes up, I feel like the Raiders find a way to rip it right from you.
I will also say,
we're going to be watching the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, throughout today's show, well, actually, that wasn't, we're also watching the Senior Bowl.
Oh.
This guy who I've been following, Sam Roush, tight end at Stanford, has had a great week. Wide open throw at the 40. He maybe runs into the end zone there, just totally drops the ball.
Yikes.
But if you have any questions about the Senior Bowl, about the Royal Rumble, send them in because we'll be able to answer them. We're watching it. Possibly future Raiders backup running back Kalen Black from Indiana. He's on the Senior Bowl roster right now making some plays. Garrett Nussmeier is calling some plays at quarterback, changing some things up. If you have anything you want to talk about the Senior Bowl, Royal Rumble, let us know.
Also, if anybody did not see my video, even when the Senior Bowl is over, I'm going to put a link for you guys down in the comments. I essentially break down the top 10 prospects that Raider Nation should be watching in the Senior Bowl.
Both the Indiana running backs I want in round 5.
They're physical backs. Like, to me, they are what you want a complimentary back to look like with Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
And a Klint Kubiak offense, that type of backup running back that you know is going to take care of the football, put his head down, and I don't need anything special besides I need you to have the mentality, I'm going to get 4 yards every carry.
And we're going to talk about free agents later on that possibly could be linked with Klint Kubiak if he does accept the Raiders head coaching job. I will say, you look back at everywhere that Clint's been, he's run 2 running back systems, even with the Seahawks, right? They have 2 really good running backs, Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, both really good.
You won't see Charbonnet, obviously, because he tore his ACL, so just keep that. You're going to see a lot more of Kenneth Walker here in the final game. But, Chugs and I were kind of talking about it. Like, I don't think Kenneth Walker would be someone that they go out and sign, but also at the exact same time, if you really, truly...
And you have so much money.
You have a lot of money. If you wanted to take some of that extra pressure off of your rookie quarterback, maybe it's not the worst idea to invest in the running back position. So, again, we'll talk about a bunch of these players. I'm seeing right now some 7s, some 8s down there, 5 from Taser. What up, D-Rock? Mitch, how do I feel you know something we don't? I don't know. Here's one. Here's my honest pledge to Raider Nation. If I get information, I tell you. You know, in the beginning of this whole journey of running my own YouTube show, I used to always get worried like, oh, if I put information out there that doesn't end up coming true, it looks bad on me. Now I'm at the point where whether it happens, whether it doesn't, I'm just always going to express how I feel, but I'm also going to share information. And I think yesterday's actually a really good example. I don't know if you guys were following along with anything going on around the NFL, but, you know, news broke yesterday that the Minnesota Vikings, they fired their GM, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa, and apparently,
Close. That was close.
What did I say?
He said
Kwesi Adolfo, what is it? Kwesi
Adolfo-Mensa.
Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa. Yeah, yikes. But it was reported that apparently the Raiders were really close to trading for J.J. McCarthy. So that's what one of the beat reporters from Minnesota said, that apparently the Raiders were very close for trading for McCarthy. I bring that up because I did some shows last year saying like, hey, you know, I had a source tell me that the Raiders could potentially be sniffing around JJ. Just because I talk about something doesn't mean it's 100% going to happen. But my pledge to Raider Nation is I'm not an insider. I do get inside information from time to time. And as soon as I get any info, I tell you guys. Like, I do. I tell you guys. So I'll be real. I don't know. I'm just like all of y'all today. I'm a fan sitting up here who wants more information around Klint Kubiak in that interview. What up, Money? Mitch, will you guys show the live conversation? I wish I could, dude. I wish I had a little
dude, could you imagine
a little camera right now.
Could you imagine if we sent like, I don't know, like Dylan just with some like of the meta glasses and he's just sitting at the same restaurant?
Well, you know, there was a rumor that came out last night, and I messaged the kid who ended up putting it out there, and if I get any more information on it, I'll let you know. Can you go to that social of the restaurant? So there was a Seahawks guy. He's a podcaster.
Dan Vane.
Dan Vane, Seahawks Forever podcast, said, text from a former coworker just now. Kubiak dining with Davis. Second interview for the Raiders at my old restaurant. So much for meeting on Saturday. So it's been speculated that the Raiders interview is going to be the first interview today, and then the Cardinals interview is actually going to be the one that's a little bit later on. But this, from what it sounds like, Mark Davis had dinner last night with Klint Kubiak. That's important to me because of where they had the dinner. So according to also this Dan guy, can you go to the other one for me when you get a sec?
The Gaucho.
Yep. So apparently he went to the El Gaucho, best steakhouse in the region, which I think that this is important because, again, like when you're trying to bring in a head coach, it's a lot like dating, right? If you are, like, you know Klint Kubiak, right? Like, that's number one. Klint Kubiak, in my mind, I hope the Raiders marry him. If I'm trying to marry someone, I'm taking them to the nicest steakhouse in the region. But I'm also taking them to a place that I know is good, right? This is a place that apparently Davis has been to multiple times, and when you hear stuff like this, it just, light bulbs go off in my mind. The reason why I bring that up is because, you know, in the off season, I always just write stuff down, and I write stuff down what's happened. And what this reminded me of, I don't know if y'all remember this, but last off season, the Raiders, when they went to Ashton Genty's pro day in Boise, so they go to that pro day. The Raiders had their running back coach there. They also took John Spytek. John Spytek and the Raiders running back coach, McCullough from Notre Dame, who, by the way, is going to have an interview with the Chiefs coming up for their running back position job, and which would be bad because I'm worried Jeremiah Love is going to go there. I'm going on a tangent here. But what ended up happening is, obviously, the Raiders drafted Genty. But Genty, the Boise State head coach, John Spytek, and our running back coach all went to dinner at one of the nicest restaurants in Boise after Genty's pro day. We talk a lot about interviews, and interviews are extremely important. There's no doubt about it. But there's also that other element of just like being a human being. And when you get to sit down and break bread with somebody, like, you are just instantly, I think, a lot closer to that person, you know? Like, if any of us were to hang out at the Raiders event, we're instantly going to be a lot closer because of, it's not an interview. It's just, hey, like, let's just sit back here. Let's enjoy some good food. Let's enjoy some good drinks. And let's just kind of hang out. If anybody does want to hang out with Chugs and I, we're a week away, dude. I'm a week away from waking up probably hungover. That's how I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
24 hours from now, if I'm not hungover, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. But I can't wait to be able to shake some hands, meet some Raiders fans. And if you don't know, Friday, February 6th, 7 to 10 at Fairway Zone Sports Bar and Lounge in San Jose, California. It's a free event. We will have some stuff there for the first people that end up showing up. But if you don't know, please, please, please spread the word. The more fans we get here, the more crazy events that we can do in the future. Let's go to Trevor Custer. I'm pretty sure the Clint doesn't exist.
Have you ever found the Clint?
I'm looking at that picture right now, Trevor.
All right, let's just go to the next one.
Big E, what's up? When do you think we'll find out if Kubiak is coming? I don't know if we want to find out until February 9th. And I say that because I don't want to get in trouble with tampering. I don't want us to get in any issues that we don't need to get in. And the Raiders are heading in the right path this offseason. We have a lot of things that we should be getting excited for. Jack Kenna, Mitch, let's go, San Jose. Jack, I better see you there, man.
Also, Kaboozy Baby says, Cardinals fan here. We honestly don't think we have a chance at Kubiak. I think it's the Raiders' job to lose.
And I agree. I actually think that the way I would rank it is Raiders' job, stays in Seattle, takes the Cardinals' job. And I don't really think that Arizona fans necessarily disagree with that statement. But I don't really know if we find out anything today outside of the fact of the interview went really well. And if the Raiders are all in on Clint, I promise you this. It's going to be reported that the interview went well. Whether it's going to be from the Raiders side, whether it's going to be from Clint's side, it's going to be that the interview went well. Even if it doesn't go well, I bet you they still would say it went well because that's the guy that they do truly want to be the next head coach.
Pepe Aguirre, why is Chugs never wearing Raiders gear? Well, you're wrong.
Check out my nipples.
Also, wait, actually, that's wrong. Hold up.
I was going to say, we've had a few different guys mix and match in here over the days. You can't quite see it, but that little bingo bango. Got a little Raiders report action.
And if you want shirts like this, stay tuned because Raiders Report, we're about to be dropping a lot of merch here at Chat Sports. A lot of merch. Maybe Find the Clint t-shirt.
It would actually be funny if we just did a blank shirt and we just called it Find the Clint shirt.
And it's just like somewhere on the shirt there's like a small Clint.
I know. I almost think it'd be better if there was nothing. Like, what if that's the shirt you get for your wife on Valentine's Day? Help me find the Clint. T-Nipple, we are all the way in Seattle to find the Clint, bro. Hey, hopefully it's better than the gynecologist. I'll tell you that, because maybe this is TMI. Though it was funny the other day, my wife, she goes, I think sometimes you say too much on your show. Not that she gets mad about it. Oh, wow, it's a good run here by that Virginia running back. I like him a lot. But yesterday was my first OBGYN appointment I've ever been to. And
not for Mitch.
Yeah, believe it or not, it wasn't for me. It's an experience. I'll tell you that. It was very, very interesting. I'll tell you that. We're doing it to weigh our options. Not that we're gonna have kids now, but at least want to be prepared in case we do want to have kiddos. Mitch, you got Volker Lopez tonight.
It's the rematch, Volkanovski against Lopez. I like Volk. I'm a Volk fan, but
same.
You always feel like in the rematch, the guy who lost the first time has the edge coming into the second time. He's a little bit more hungry, a little, redemption arc, I still got Volk. I like Volkanovski.
Again, I don't know nearly enough about UFC compared to, I would say you do. One of my buddies is pretty interested in it, so I talk to him here and there.
I don't know if it was a unanimous decision
but
the first time they fought.
When Volk fought, who did Volk fight who was above his weight class?
That was the
Khabib's brother.
Yes.
I can never remember his name.
It was in Australia. That's the one that we watched at your apartment when you still lived at the
We watched that one together. And the amount of respect I earned for Volk in that fight to be able to fight up that class, He's just a tough mother effer. Like, I'm just not going to vote against him.
Yeah, it was
What
Volk in a decision against Diego Lopez last time.
Who do y'all got? Give me a V for Volk. Give me an L for Lopez. If you have no idea, just type a letter. It's just give me a letter. Touchdown.
Oh, and that's the guy I like. I think that's Jaden Ott. Let's see,
Dude, the American right now is putting it to the national.
Okay, yeah, Jaden Ott. This kid, somebody to watch in the middle rounds. Jaden Ott was maybe the best running back in college football in 2023 with Cal. Got injured in 2024. Then he went to Oklahoma, and it seemed like the coaching staff just sucked because he's looked awesome in the Senior Bowl, and he didn't do anything this year at Oklahoma.
I mean, I always find it interesting when
Yeah, I think it was Islam, Mando, who Volk fought that time whenever you were talking about.
Nussmeier rolling, 2-point conversion. It's good.
He's looked really good.
They're up 14-0.
Nussmeier's looked really good.
14-0 up, and I believe that ball was to is that to Malachi?
Possibly. They need to do a better job of, well, maybe we don't have the volume on, so maybe they're
True.
announcing it more. But
So right now, if anybody cares about the Senior Bowl, 14-0 for the American
yep,
over
that's
National.
Malachi Fields from
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, he was somebody that I talked about in the video. That's a good player to watch. Brady needs to leave Pizza Hut, put his big boy pants on, and take care of business. Klint Kubiak needs to sign the dotted line. Again, he cannot sign the dotted line today, so we got to understand that. Like, we can't have Klint Kubiak is officially the next Raiders head coach. Like, that's literally not allowed to happen until after the Super Bowl, so it's going to end up being on February 9th. But I also do agree with you in the statement of if Tom Brady is going to be somebody that, you know, we saw the report that apparently some coaches are leaving these interviews going, well, who's the guy in charge? Is it Spytek? Is it Brady? Because it is hard to micromanage somebody, and maybe that's not the right word, but it's hard to be able to put your input in if you're 2,000 miles away, you know, you're doing all this other stuff. I'm not saying that Tom Brady's not a great football mind. He's clearly a great football mind. But if Brady's going to be somebody that is a big-time influential decision maker for the Raiders, I do think he's got to start being like, yeah, these Pizza Hut commercials are cool. Yeah, being a Fox broadcaster is cool and all. But being a minority owner of an NFL team, Brady, you'll make so much more money if you're right being the decision maker of a minority of a team than you will broadcasting for Fox, getting in a commercial for Pizza Hut, right? Like, I don't know the exact number. I believe it's about 5% is what Brady owns of the Raiders that Mark sold them. And if, you know, the Raiders end up selling for, I don't know, $10 billion, that's a large chunk of change that Brady goes, okay, thank you very much. That's more than what he would make with Fox. I believe his Fox deal is like 11 years, $274 million, which, again, insanity type of number. But I've been very supportive of Brady. I've been very supportive of Spytek. It needs to translate in some, I don't know about wins right away. I want to see wins. But it needs to translate into we're moving in the right direction. Because we have not been moving in the right direction for quite a long time. What up, Josh? You're next up here on the program. What's going on, dude?
Love your tits, Mitch. Where do you go?
Oh, man, oh, man. So I actually have a few different tattoo artists.
And, Josh, if you like his Raiders tat, funny enough, you can actually go watch him get that tattoo on the Raiders Report. Just type in Raiders Report tattoo. There's about 2 7-hour lives of Mitch getting that tattoo live here on the Raiders Report.
Shout out to my guy Sayer Tattoo. He's the one that did that. I mean, it's also pinned on my IG. If anybody wants to go ever check it out, like Sayer did an amazing job. He's actually based in Los Angeles, so if anybody ever wants to work with him, he's the one that did my entire Raiders leg sleeve. Took about 14 hours. The guy who's done my shield on the back of my calf, obviously you guys don't see that one nearly as often. His name is Miguel. He's based in like Dallas / Oklahoma. He's also did my prayer hands, which is personally my favorite tattoo. It resembles my grandfather. And then the dove resembles my grandmother. And then these first two, I actually sadly don't remember the guy's name. I'll admit these are my first two tattoos, probably my least favorite two tattoos because they're just not up to the quality of my other ones. But I've had now 3 different people do tats on me, and I think I'm about to get a 4th because I'm actually talking to a Raider fan. He might hook me up with a tattoo during the Combine week because I was like, because he's based in Indianapolis, and I would love to be able to get that one. But I get people to reach out to me. But my 2 tattoo artists that I would really recommend, I follow them both on Instagram. The one guy's name is Miguel. His tattoo spot is called 405 Inc. I believe. Like, again, I DM him in his personal. I don't know his actual IG if he wants me to give that out. But 405 Inc. is where I got some of my good tattoos. And then Sayer Tattoo, I believe it's Seyer Tattoo, is the guy that did my Raider tat. And I'm telling you this right now. If you're a Raiders fan and you hit up Sayer and you're like, yo, saw your work on the Raiders report. Again, he's a diehard Raiders fan. Like, he would, I'm not saying he'd give you a free tattoo, and I wouldn't expect him to, but he would absolutely hook you up with a little bit of a discount. I'd be shocked if he didn't. He was awesome, awesome guy. What up, Raider Dad? Thank you, Mitch and Chugs and Reed. Y'all make the season and off-season worth it. That is all. Again, if you haven't noticed, we've been putting in that time. We've been putting in that energy. We're actually getting close to 8 million views this month, which is something that I've never done before. It would be a all-time record here on the Raiders Report, and I think it just shows that we're growing as not only a show, but definitely as a community. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I hope that you do so because we're not only going to give you free videos every day. We're not only going to show you that commitment to excellence like today where, again, we're coming in on a Saturday because I want to know, just like all y'all, what the hell's going on in Raiderland. But on top of that, we're building an unbelievable community filled with a lot of people that got each other's back. Like the other day, Arbora drops a hundo and goes, hey, can you give away a Raider shirt on my behalf? Like, that type of shit doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It happens here all the time. Let's go to Blaine. What up, Blaine? What up, fellas? Just saw that you were live. Thought I'd check in. I'm spending my Saturday at football coaching clinic. Real one for life. What kind of clinic? Just any, like, are you coaching a certain position or just is it a certain age group? Yeah, again, we went live today because I knew deep down in my heart of hearts that I was going to drive my wife nuts if I was at home just sitting there just on my phone all day. She had some work to do as well, so it was a win-win. John, if Kubiak comes to Las Vegas, does Clay come too?
Oh, Clay's going to come.
I explained this the other day on the show where if the 49ers want to block Klint Kubiak, because, again, he's the 49ers OC, if they want to block his interview with the Raiders, they can do it because it's a lateral move. But I do think that it would be kind of a bad and kind of a lame move to block the interview because if I'm Klint Kubiak, I'm like, well, that's my brother. I want to be able to at least go in the room and see if I'm qualified to work with my brother. Like, I think that would be a really cool thing. At the same time, though, Kyle Shanahan doesn't really play around, and he's very cutthroat, and he does his job, which I think that's what makes him such a great head coach. Yoda Jenkins, I will say this, though. If Clint comes on over, there's a lot of coaches that I believe that he could end up bringing. And I know I recently did a Raiders OC video, and I'm kind of mad at myself, kicking myself in the butt a little bit, that I did not feature the names of Rick Dennison and Justin Otten. They both are very heavily impacting the ground game and have followed Clint to some different destinations as well. But I think he's going to try to bring a lot of people from Seattle because he also took a lot of people to Seattle. We think the Raiders are interviewing Clint. Reality equals Clint is interviewing the Raiders. I think both of those things are true.
It's like the scene from Step Brothers.
I hope it goes differently. I'm going to be honest.
Just Mark, shut your mouth. Mark, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
And then just Clay just pops out of nowhere. I mean, if there's one organization that would run some Step Brothers type of interview, you guys wore tuxedos for a job.
Cleaning toilets.
Cleaning toilets. Mando, Chugs and Mitch, modern day Kobe and Shaq?
Well, I would say, me and Mitch were the best of all time, so it would probably be like a D-Wade LeBron situation if we're talking about like the best duo ever. Or maybe like a LeBron Kyrie. But I'll accept Kobe and Shaq. I think the best duo of all time though would probably be LeBron and Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Wow, we're already off the rails here. Ivan, Las Vegas should take DC to the interview. That would help. LOL. I really don't know if it would help. I really don't know if it would. I know Derek Carr's got a good working relationship.
Oh, no.
What? More Derek Carr talk?
No, this squeeze thing just broke.
Oh, yikes. Here.
You have the trash?
Yeah.
Oh, no. One of my y'all stress me out so much, my stress ball just broke.
It's like a pimple, though.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I actually don't know if it would help all that much. If there's actually somebody that I do think would help out the interview, I actually wonder if it's Clint's dad, Gary. Can you show the quotes? So I featured this, and I just showed this on the show that I dropped before today's program. Again, for those of you that do not know, $20 Venmo, you're going to be able to get in to our duck race here for a chance to win a little bit of money. If you want to get in, cool. If you don't, believe me, not gonna get too upset about it. I do plan on staying live today, probably for another 2, maybe 3 hours, depending on how much information ends up coming out, because I do think we're going to get some information soon. But the reason why I say I actually could argue that Gary Kubiak, what happened?
It's Tiffy time.
Oh.
Tiffany Stratton, number 30 in the Royal Rumble, baby.
I'm like, what happened?
It's Tiffy time. Let's go.
Also, Chokes told me that they have to wear these outfits. Explain the outfit thing again.
So in Saudi Arabia, like, I don't know if it's law or like what, but they have to wear like full outfits from like head to toe, basically. So they can't show any skin, no skin.
Yeah,
they would hate, or I guess I'm a guy, so it doesn't matter. I was gonna say they would hate my beer boots.
Again, man, I think America's the greatest country on the planet. You can't convince me otherwise.
But
I've only lived in 2, but
it is Tiffy time though, and I already know Robert Jansen is fuming at the mouth or foaming at the mouth right now, being like, "It's not a real sport." I don't care.
I mean, he might be foaming at some other places too if he saw Tiffy time.
Dude,
so.
Tiffy time, bro.
Tiffy time.
If you know, you know. All right, let's get into this quote. Gary Kubiak on John Spytek in their time with the Denver Broncos. Mitch, take it away.
So the reason why I think that Gary Kubiak being in the interview would actually help him out, it's because at the end of the day, we know what the Raiders' job is. And if I was sitting there debating whether or not I wanted to be able to take a job, and if my dad had confidence in that job I was going to take or in that person, well, that would maybe lean me towards taking that job. So here's what Gary Kubiak had to say on John Spytek. This is from many years ago when they used to work together in Denver. And here's what he said. What I remember about Spy is he was one of the people that was giving me a grasp on the team. What I had, what they thought our strengths were, what we had to do to continue to move forward and have a chance to win a championship. He helped me get comfortable with the team so that I could get in there, work with my coaches, start to break down our needs, and get ready for the draft. He was a big asset to me. So if I'm sitting up here going, the reason why I'm confident that Klint Kubiak is going to take this job is because, again, let's face the facts. The Raiders' job, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of things that are up in the air. And I don't know the relationship between Clint and his dad, Gary. But I do think for Clint to follow, in a sense, his father's footsteps, I think that shows a level of respect and a level of, yeah, I got a really good relationship with my dad. My dad's my best friend. That's a guy that I know would go to the end of the moon and back for me. I know he's got my back no matter what. And if Gary Kubiak believes in John Spytek, can you show the other quote as well?
Yeah.
Believes in John Spytek as a coach that can help you win a Super Bowl. And if Gary goes, all right, Dad, do you believe in him? I think it's kind of hard to say. If Dad says yes, maybe that's just another cherry on top here a little bit. So this is a quote from The Athletic. on Gary Kubiak and Spytek's relationship. While in Denver, went on to make the playoffs for the fourth season in a row, the front office felt the team, led by Peyton Manning, was capable of more. That led them to fire Coach John Fox, replace him with Gary Kubiak in 2015. When Kubiak was getting up to speed that offseason, he leaned on Spytek. So that's literally telling you that Gary Kubiak leaned on Spytek. Kubiak, obviously I just showed you the quote, had nothing but nice things to say about Mr. Spytek. So now you're sitting here as Klint Kubiak as a young, offensive-minded coach wondering, is this the job I want to take? And if your dad felt like that John Spytek guy was one of the reasons why we won a Super Bowl in our first year in Denver, again, I'm talking about what's going to be that reason to get him to say yes. Because if I'm Kubiak, I'm looking at the job that I have in Seattle and go, we're in the Super Bowl for a reason. This is obviously a great job for me, and it is obviously a great job for Kubiak, being the OC. But then on the other breath, I'm like, well, this Raiders job's interesting. They got a lot of money in salary cap space. They got 10 draft picks, number 1 overall pick, 2 great young players on offense, and Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers that I can work around. But I'm like, I don't know what to do. If my dad were to look at me and say, hey, I actually think that this is a good opportunity for you, maybe that could be the reason where he goes, yeah, you know what? I am going to end up taking that job. Let's go to Blaine Craig. What's going on, Blaine? Also, David Zahn down in the chat. Shout out to Mount Raidermore's very own. The clinic offers sessions for all position groups, offense, defense. I'm coaching running backs and DBs this year at the high school level. Running backs and DBs is 2 very different and interesting groups to be able to work with at the high school level, but I mean, I'm going to tip my cap to you, man. That's, I think at the end of the day, when people are trying to help other people get better in any way, shape, or form, I know how difficult it can be to coach.
Probably budget cuts, too. They're like, oh, you got to be able to coach 2 positions.
Probably. In today's day and age, man, probably. I used to coach a group of 16-year-olds in Germany. Again, I didn't speak German very well. I still don't speak German very well now, but I could do enough to get by. Germany, basically everybody speaks English, and most of the kids on my team spoke English. But, for me, I played baseball for, probably 18 years at the time. Oh, wow, picked off right through his hands, going to be national football. But, I've played baseball my entire life. I was amazed on how much different it was being like the player to the coach. It's where I truly realized that, A, I don't have a love and passion for the game like I do football, and B, just because you play a sport doesn't make you a good coach for that sport. What up, Dubs? Yo, Mitch, how come you're not chugging beers? Dubs. I mean, Dubs, it's Saturday. Tomorrow, I don't really have a lot going on. I mean, I'll always say this. If people want to get beers going down on a Saturday, you know what needs to happen. And it always takes one person, maybe 2 people to get the party started. And if the party gets going, that's usually when the beers get a-flowing. So
damn,
I'm just going to leave it like that. If y'all want to get some beers going, we can get some beers going. But also at the same time, I want people to know that I don't get me wrong, I can chug beers with the best of them. Pound for pound, I can chug beers with the best of them. But I also want people to know that we're not just a beer chugging show, that we do provide a lot of good content for Raider fans out there. And by subscribing to this show, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to become a smarter Raiders fan. But, I'll tell you, it's Saturday, man. Like, if you guys wanted to have some beers today, I would not be against having a few beers today.
Oh!
But it's only if y'all are down to get a little bit rowdy with me. I mean,
Dude,
Is this an all-girl Royal Rumble?
Yeah. So they do the girls first, and then they do the
okay.
guys. We're down to the last 7. There's been 23 people eliminated. Charlotte Flair was in it for an hour, and she just got eliminated.
Do we know every contestant in the next Royal Rumble?
No.
So what, do we only know, like, the amount of people that are in it?
It'll be 30. And they tell you probably, I think, half of them, 15 guys, and then the other 15 are just, a surprise of who's in it.
What if we did this? If you guys, again, it would require a lot of people to get in right now.
I'll say this.
If we did a duck race and the first 30 people that got in, we based it off the Royal Rumble. So when you got in, and like that would be the person who would win. But I guess if you were first, you have the least chance to win.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
I would say this, though.
That would be interesting.
For the guys' Royal Rumble, I have a deal, and I know there's going to be people, I don't care about WWE, whatever. That's fine. $2 Super Chat, and you correctly predict who wins the men's Royal Rumble, we'll go ahead and give you 15 tickets to the
15?
To the Clint Kubiak. All right, you know what? It's 30. There's 30 people in there. We'll give you 30 tickets to the Klint Kubiak raffle.
I was going to say either that or 26. 30 is probably the easier math to do. So what? $2 Super Chat. You picked the right winner.
Of the men's Royal Rumble.
Okay. Again, I couldn't name probably a single wrestler, but that would be fun to do. I mean, we do like Madden Sims. What if we just got like the video game and we just, bro, that was a kick. I mean, I know it's staged, but there are times where you're like, she just took a boot in the face. There's no way that felt good. There's no way that felt good.
Here are our deals for today's show. We're going to go ahead and give away a Klint Kubiak jersey. Maybe, getting too ahead of ourselves, but I have a good feeling about this, guys.
And I think at the end of the day, it's what this show's about. You gotta have some faith. You gotta believe a little bit. And I know I'm not the only one that believes. So I'm hoping that this thing goes the way that we're hoping, man. I just need to be able to I just gotta delete some stuff here. I need some space. I see LA Crash Dog, first person to get in.
Also, coming up later on today's show,
yes,
we will have free agent targets. We also will have a mailbag to discuss on today's program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, today's not just going to be super chats, not just going to be questions. We have 2 full segments scripted, ready to rock and roll. And my free agent targets is going to be players that Kubiak could target this offseason. I'm only going to look at the offensive side of the football, and I'm only going to look at players that have connection with Kubiak. What? Your face is...
Oh, my God. Liv Morgan just took out Raquel Rodriguez, and they're supposed to be partners. She stabbed her in the back.
There's clearly some hate going on right now.
Oh, my God.
Devastating.
Oh, my gosh.
Devastating.
All right.
Also, and then we will do that mailbag, just so y'all know. We will also do that mailbag, and the way that it's going to be, I want it to be all questions around Klint Kubiak. What up, Matthew? You're next up here on the Raiders Report. I think the Raiders or the Cardinals will make a hire in the next 48 hours. Whoever doesn't will the one who gets Clint. Correct. Honestly, what I think happens is the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, are going to hire Mike LaFleur. I think they're going to hire Mike LaFleur, the offensive coordinator of the Rams, and when that person ends up getting hired, then obviously there's only one job left. But here's the thing. I'm actually not even nervous about Arizona. Like, Arizona, the Cardinals, I'm not even worried about them. I'm more worried about Clint staying in Seattle. Because I do think if you told me who are the top 3 teams that Klint Kubiak is coaching, there's obviously only 3. I'd say number 1 is the Raiders. Number 2 is the Seahawks. Number 3 is the Arizona Cardinals. Like, I am more concerned that he stays in Seattle than taking the Arizona Cardinals head coaching gig. Because there's so many more unknowns in Arizona than there is with the Las Vegas Raiders. Especially the quarterback position. Because, yes, I want to say that they're 11th in the NFL in salary cap space, but they have about 51 to 53 million different compared to the Raiders. And if you're evaluating those 2 jobs, I'm going to go with the team that's got a clear path at quarterback and has $50 million more, because if you need to find a QB, you got to use your salary cap space. I mean, you're going...
She just hit a double... they're all right there!
How many people are left?
There's 3.
So what, all 3 of them are on the edge?
Yes.
Do you think that they practiced this entire skit?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought she was about to hit something crazy. Oh!
What?
Ow! Ow! Soruka!
Dude, this Royal Rumble.
Oh, no way she's about to hit that. Oh, yep, she's out.
So now there's what, only two people?
Oh!
It's over.
Liv Morgan wins it.
Is that good?
Liv Morgan just won the Royal Rumble.
Is that good? I don't know. Justine!
Oh, my God.
Hey, Mitch, traveling home to San Jose from Disneyland, can you give a shout-out to my husband, Albert? I'm not going to call him Big Al. That's something that maybe you should only call your husband. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Big Al. What up, Albert? Grandson Albert Albie, Raider fan because of me. Sorry, not sorry. LOL. Hope to see you in San Jose. I mean, here's the thing, Justine. If you show up to Fairway Sports Bar and Lounge, you're going to see me. I don't think there's going to be that many Raider fans there where literally, like, it's going to be impossible to see me. I do think there's going to be a lot more than I originally anticipated based on what I've already heard. But, to me, I love the fact that you always watch this show, Justine. It does mean a lot to me. But huge, huge shout out. And Disney, man, I've actually never been to Disneyland in California. I've only been to Disney in Florida. But my grandparents, everything in their house is Mickey and Minnie. Everything. My grandparents actually were one of the first 100 people to get a year pass for Florida. And at the time at Epcot, there's like these like little pictures. They're like little silver pictures. I have it on my phone somewhere, and it's like an etched. You could save it there forever. But the last time I went to Disney, I was a senior in college, and I went with my dad, my grandfather. It was my senior year because I was down there playing baseball in Florida, and it was probably one of the coolest days. Like if you were to ever like look back at your life and go, what's one of the days that you could relive? The number one day would be my wedding. My whole wedding weekend with Alex was unbelievable. I'll tell you this. Number two might be up there. Spending that entire day at Disney with my dad and my grandfather. One of the coolest days I've ever had. And to see my 80-year-old grandfather acting like a little kid waiting in line was super precious. So I hear family. I hear Disney. Disney will always, always, always have a special place in my heart. No doubt.
Hey, Jack, I want to throw your question up, but don't put a space between hashtag and Raiders. Hashtag Raiders. Have the hashtag and Raiders. You have a space there, so I can't pull it. That's a good question, Jack, and I want to throw it up there, but just make sure you put the hashtag and Raiders together.
So, again, the reason why we say hashtag Raiders is like our system, when it scans all your questions, it only picks up the ones that say hashtag Raiders.
Bang.
To filter it. Junior, hey, if somebody bangs, I'm telling you this. If we get one bang, I'll give you guys my shit show deal of the day. What up, Miles? Odds that when we get Kubiak, that Webb is OC. 0% chance. 0% chance. So Davis Webb has already said, it's already been reported that he's not interested in the offensive coordinator job of the Raiders. So that's a 0. And I actually put out a video yesterday, if you didn't see it, the top Raiders offensive coordinator candidates for Klint Kubiak. So if you want to go check that bad boy out. In terms of people that he's going to bring with him, I think you got to look at a guy like Andrew Janocko. He's somebody right now in that Seattle squad. I can't think of the other guy. I believe it's Jake Peets, pass game coordinator. I think that's going to be somebody that he brings along. That's like the more passing side. And then I would say Rick Dennison, Justin Otten would be two other people. But it wouldn't shock me at all if all four of those coaches followed Clint. Because that's Rick Dennison and Justin Otten are more on the running side. They are on the running side. Offensive line coach experience in there as well. And then on the passing side is Jake Peets. And then I literally just said his name.
Yeah.
Andrew Janocko. Sorry.
All I can think of when you said that name was Andrew or like Jacobo or something. I remember the Scooby-Doo live action. He was like the bad guy.
I know which one. I don't know who's the guy you're talking about. I do remember Scooby-Doo live action, though. Anthony Green, Roman Reigns for the win. All right.
All right, Anthony. If Roman Reigns wins it.
Good luck to you, Mr. Green. What up, Demokes? Glass shattered. Demokes come in and yells Mendoza MVP incoming, baby.
That's kind of a lit profile picture you got there. Smoking on that Ducks pack.
I mean, DeMokes, I'm actually happy that this is where we're at now, DeMokes. For those that don't know, DeMokes and I once made a deal about AOC being the MVP. And I don't remember how much it was. It resulted in you and I making a bet. It was you win $50 and I win $5,000.
Yep. I won $50.
I did not win $5,000. Purple Walrus, Mitch, your thoughts on the Jets giving up 3 first-round picks to move up to number 1? Not enough. Purple Walrus, I want you to go on YouTube. I want you to look up Raiders report number 1 draft cost. You're going to see an entire video, me outlining the only acceptable trades for the Raiders for that number 1 overall pick. Because, again, you can't just look at it as the draft. You got to look at it as everything as the entire picture. And to me, supply and demand, quarterbacks are low right now. There's not a lot of good quarterbacks in free agency. Not a lot of good quarterbacks in the draft outside of Mendoza. So I do think that there's going to be some teams out there that are willing to pay a little bit more. And if you think Mendoza's your franchise guy, I believe Mendoza's a franchise quarterback. I mean, at this point, I want at minimum 5 first-round picks. And that's a crazy price tag. And you know what? I don't think anyone's going to pay that price tag. The only way I'm giving up something like that, a quarterback like Mendoza, is if you do something insane.
Oh, dude, this profile picture.
Jacob Harvey. Oh, I love that shirt. Kubiak plus Mendoza is going to be a solid pairing. I agree with you, dude. Like, I think about the type of coach, the type of player that Mendoza is. Look at the style of offense that Kubiak runs. It is a really quarterback-friendly offense that, you know, and I get it. Mendoza runs out of the shotgun a little bit more than he's going to run in the NFL. But Mendoza's keys are he's got to be able to get play action going. He's got to be able to get the ground game going. And that's kind of like one of Kubiak's specialties. You know, like those guys do a phenomenal job featuring running backs. They do a phenomenal job scheming certain players open. And I just think the entire pairing of Kubiak, Mendoza, Bowers, Genty, with the amount of money that we have to invest in this offensive line, it does. It absolutely makes sense. Let's go to Renee Garcia. Mitch, do you ever have events here in DFW? Thanks for all the hard work, brother. I've done some events before here in the DFW area. I might go to, shout out to my guy, also Raider. He invited me to go to an event. I want to say it's like April 10th or April 11th. But I have done some events here in the DFW area. It's not that I don't like to do them. It's sometimes really hard for me to be able to find the time to be able to do an event on the weekend. So I try to piggyback and be like, oh, like you guys are doing an event. I don't want to take away from, you know, the limelight. I actually think when I go to events like that, you know, more fans end up going and supporting a lot of the people that end up supporting me. Speaking of people that support me, Riverside Raider Bang!
She's La Mendoza, Raris and Rovers. That was a Chisosa. Hit him with that Cobra. Darted and Rovers.
Keep going. Oh, Riverside Raiders said, you know what, Mitch?
God, y'all some broke.
I want to get a party going. So here's going to be my deal to the nation. The only way I'm having some beers today is if we get this thing up and we get it going here a little bit rowdy. 3 bangs. If we get 3 bangs, I'm going to open up the shit show. If we get 3 bangs on this program, I'm going to open it up, and we're going to get some shit show deals going. Oh, you already got one. Chugs has already got one.
These bitches La Mendoza, Raris and Rovers. Hit them with that Cobra. Now that boy slumped over. They do it off of. Oh, my God. They were just showing before the Senior Bowl 2 guys on the same team on the defensive side. A Tennessee guy and an Oregon guy got into a fight.
I mean, if you're getting into a fight at the Senior Bowl, that's a really bad look. Like, if there's one game that you shouldn't get into a fight, it's probably in the Senior Bowl. What? I didn't see it. I'm not even on. Frank Harris, you're in. LCA, you in?
Well, speaking of
Duck
LCA.
Race. What up, fam? Save a Warrior. If you guys don't know, I'm rocking my LA Crash Dog jersey today. He was the MVP just the other day. And I said if you were the MVP on that show, I would rock your jersey. We do a lot of crazy stuff on this show. We get wet and wild very often on this program. And, again, we do these things because at the end of the day, I want to be able to run this show like it's a normal day. We're just talking Raiders. We're hanging out. We're here to have a good time. And if people want to have a good time, y'all already know I'm always down for a good time. Shout out to L.A. Crash Dog! Bang! That means we're 2 bangs away
Actually,
from getting this shit show. One away. Riverside Raider! Bang! 1 bang away.
Ferraris and Rovers,
1 bang away. Oh, man. If we get one more bang, I'm going to go grab some beers. And then every bang after that, we're going to be putting down a beer here until I can't stand up. Let's go to Miles. What's up, Miles? Klint Kubiak bring Milroe to compete with Mendoza and AOC. I don't know if he would bring Milroe because I don't know the price tag on it. Like, I actually would love the idea of Klint bringing in Jalen Milroe. The problem with that, though, is if I'm Jalen Milroe, I don't want to come to the Raiders. Because if I'm Milroe, I want to think that I got a shot to be the starting quarterback of some team out there. Right? Like, if Milroe gets traded, which it wouldn't actually surprise me all that much, for Milroe to get dealt out of Seattle, because I'm going to be real with you. You know, they're going to obviously bring in a new offensive coordinator. And if I'm Seattle, I give Sam Darnold a new deal. Like, I think Darnold's going to sign a bigger extension at the end of this year. Because if you think that he's your guy, you do it right after the Super Bowl. You do it now. And because the longer you wait, you know, the more and more it's going to cost you in the long run if you think he's your guy. And I think that they're going to reward him at the end of this year. Like, I really do. I think that he's going to get a brand new deal. So what does that tell Jalen Milroe then? Like, I'm always going to be the backup on this team. So I do wonder if he could potentially go somewhere else.
the ring general.
And if you're drafting Mendoza #1 overall, like, I just don't think that's the best area. I'll say this. There's 2 quarterbacks I'll talk about today on the program that if the Raiders sign a quarterback in free agency that has ties to Kubiak, there's 2 guys that I have right now in my mind. Let's go to a Raider.
And this is I mean, this dude knows ball.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's like, I'm going to get my question in and I'm going to get a chance at some more tickets.
Oh, I actually didn't even see the Roman Reigns thing. That's also 2 people have said Roman Reigns. I'm guessing that's
What do y'all know?
I'm guessing that's a common one.
He was like the champion for like 2 years, so.
He was?
Very, very popular choice to win it this year is Roman Reigns.
So let's just say the Raiders, they're going to be somewhere around 100, 110 million, I think, when it's all said and done. But let's not look at it from a dollar standpoint. Let's look at it from a percentage standpoint. So you got to save about 10 to 15% to be able to pay your draft picks, right? You're going to have 10 picks and the #1 overall pick. So you got to save 15% of that 100 for those draft picks. I'm going to be 50% I'd be willing to spend on the offensive line. Because that 50%, yes, you're spending on the O-line, but I would look at that 50% that I am investing in my future quarterback, in my running back I drafted, Ashton Genty, in the other guy that I drafted in round 1 in Brock Bowers. So if I'm looking at it from a percentage standpoint, I save 15% for the guys I got to draft. I'm going to invest about 50% of that in the offensive line, whether that be a Tyler Lindenbaum, a Braden Smith, a Davis Edwards. Hell, even if it's like I'm going to go out and trade and then pay for a guy. You cannot afford, as an organization, to go into the 2026 NFL draft. You can't afford with a offensive line. Can't do it. If we're going into that draft with an offensive line, we failed in free agency. I want to know that Fernando Mendoza is going to have a line that can protect him. Gotta. Motorcycle Profit. Shout out to LA Crash Dog for all you do for us. Shout out to LA Crash Dog. Shout out to Riverside Raider. And shout out to Lord Cameron Abbott. Bang!
It's fun to stay at the LCA.
All right, I'm going to go grab a beer. How the hell do you not think of MJ and Pippen? It's because he's a shit stirrer, LCA. He's a shit. No, I'll say this. I actually don't think is MJ and Pippen better than Kobe and Shaq, because I think Pippen's by far the worst player out of those four.
Speaking as a Rockets fan, I'll say the best duo out of all of them. I know I was messing with the LeBron. It's the Splash Brothers. It's Steph and Clay. Steph and Clay are the best duo of all time, and you can't tell me any different. The real ones know. Oh, yeah. Real ones know. As somebody who watched them destroy my team year in and year out, it's Steph and Clay. Destroy said, see ya. Also, if you're just now joining us, we are also watching the Royal Rumble. Right now, we got Gunther versus AJ Styles. Gunther, the current champion. AJ Styles, if he loses, that's his career. What's going to happen? Javier, you know I'm watching AJ Styles and Gunther right now. We also have the Senior Bowl on. It's 17-0. Garrett Nussmeier has made a lot of really good plays. Same with Oklahoma running back Jaden Ott has made a couple really good plays. But yeah. Doc said that's a pathetic statement about the best duo. Bro, Stephen Clay had 2 other Hall of Famers. What do you... Dude, I'm just saying, dude. I'm just being honest. MJ and Pippen had Rodman. I would say Draymond is today's day and age is Rodman. I think they compare. I think they compare pretty well to each other. Y'all let me know in the chat then. Y'all let me know in the chat. Best NBA duo of all time. Who is it? If it's not the Splash Brothers, who is it? Let me know. Honestly, Jose Gutierrez, yes. When I hear a Mike Breen, bang! Put some respect on Magic and Kareem. Okay. We're not just here to talk about the best NBA duo of all time. We are also currently on Klint Kubiak watch. We are on Klint Kubiak watch today because he is interviewing with Las Vegas as we speak. I would assume so. We are live Klint Kubiak watch to see if anything goes down today. But let me know best NBA duo all time as we wait for Mitch. Also, Gunther has AJ Styles in a headlock right now if you're wondering about the Royal Rumble. Chase Co. That's a ball knower answer right there. Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. Even though I could argue Manu Ginobili's better than Tony Parker. That's just me. I know he was the 6th man, but the real ones note was Bird and McHale from Jack Kenna. That's old school right there. Kobe and Shaq. Giannis and Chris Middleton. Okay. Mitch and Chugs. It's a great answer, Azul. That's a great answer, Azul. Caesar Lorenzo said Clay and Steph, and it's not even close. Oh, no. Clay and Steph, not even top 5 duo. Never mind. I read that totally wrong, Caesar. I read that completely wrong. Iverson and Mutombo, get out of here. They're not top 5. They're not top 5 all time.
I don't watch a lot of basketball, so I don't truly, like, I don't know. Right? Like, I don't know. But
Shaq and Penny.
I mean, Shaq and Kobe, I do think is a hard duo to beat because Kobe could score at the highest level.
Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler.
Shaq was an alien. Justine Gonzalez, I just saw you got in Ziduk.
Hakeem Olajuwon better than Shaq. The conversation we're not ready to have.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably not a good conversation.
Dude, real ones know Hakeem Olajuwon. He was that guy.
That guy?
He was that guy.
All right, this one's going out to LCA. Shout out to LA Crash Dog. And then big time shout out to actually the MVP of today's show, Riverside Raider, as it stands right now, which I'm guessing it's Riverside, California. I know I always tell y'all I'm from Danville, PA, which I am from Danville, Pennsylvania.
Strip sack.
But what's interesting about Danville is there's a river. It's called the Susquehanna River. It's the biggest river in Pennsylvania, and it splits Danville, and it splits another town that I also basically lived in majority of my life. Since my parents were divorced, mom lived in Danville. My dad, he lived in Riverside. So my dad used to always say River Dan Sideville is where we used to live. But so when I see Riverside, I always think like, if you're from Riverside, Pennsylvania, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Shout out to all y'all that make this show a lot of fun. And again, we're on Klint Kubiak Watch today. If you want to get your questions, your comments on the show, it's #Raiders, or you could super chat, skip the line. My new deal is this. If you bang on today's program, I'm going to give you 100 raffle tickets, and I'm going to put down a beer.
Also, still going on, $2 super chat. If you correctly predict the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble today, we're giving you 30 tickets. A $2 super chat, all you got to do, you can put your question in there too. Just at the end, put who you think's going to win the Royal Rumble. If you get it right, you're getting 30 tickets.
Also, these Happy Dads. The fruit punch, I don't mind. I was looking for Happy Dads. This is a new one. It's fruit punch. Very interesting.
Kobe and Shaq are both top 10 all time, and their lone resumes are insane. No other top duo has that other than maybe Magic Kareem. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
LeBron's 1-1, so.
Oh boy, here we go. Raider Man, what's up, Raider Man? Besides Mendoza, who's your favorite player in the draft? Just win, baby. I mean, yeah, Fernando Mendoza is without a doubt my clear number one. I don't know if I have another, like, favorite, if I'm being real with you. Like, I watch Ruben Bain a lot. I do really like Ruben Bain. I think he's a super special talent. In terms of another player that the Raiders could go out and get, I just haven't taken a deep enough dive yet into second, third, fourth round players, because I feel like it would be weird. Like, to me, the way that I would want to solve this question is there another player that I would be willing to trade back up for in round one? At this moment, I don't have an answer to that question. But for me to say I have another favorite player for the Raiders, it would be that guy in my mind. I want Spytek. I want Brady. I want them to figure out a way, hey, how can you move into the back end of round one and go get that guy? That's how I would look at it. Oh, wow, I think he just got picked. Dude, the American is putting it to the national team.
Oh, yeah.
17-0.
Tell me an NFL draft prospect.
Oh, I like this
I
one.
got to watch more film on before the draft.
I like this one.
I don't want it to be Mendoza. I don't want it to be Elijah Surratt. People that were in the national championship game. Like me and Mitch, we've already watched film on those guys. We've watched them play live. I want to see some guys that, I don't know, maybe some Northwestern guys. Maybe somebody from like a Oregon State. Maybe somebody from Utah. I don't know. Give me somebody in the chat that we got to watch some more film on that's maybe not as notable.
Yeah, because that's like the reason why I did the show that went out this morning, and maybe you didn't see it. Like, I don't blame you because I think all eyes are on Kubiak. So, like, some of the prospects that I talked about in the video that I did today, T.J. Parker, defensive end from Clemson. Caleb Banks, defensive lineman from Florida. Chris Johnson, cornerback, San Diego State. He's actually a really interesting player. Malachi Fields, wide receiver from Notre Dame. L.T. Overton, defensive tackle from Bama. Dalen Everett. He's really fun to watch.
Nico, who's Mike Hunt?
Derek Moore, Romello Height. You know who I really like? Keelan Rutledge. Keelan Rutledge is really fun. Taylon Green, Kyle Lewis,
Dude,
those were some players.
From the Senior Bowl, I fell in love with Jennings Dunker.
Jennings Dunker.
Dude, just look up, Google image search Jennings Dunker, Iowa.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yep. I actually think I had him in a mock. I didn't realize he looked like this, though. I mean, let's be like that. That's a guy right there. He looks like an Iowa offensive lineman who at any moment can change a tire if your car breaks down. Like you're like, oh, you need an oil change? Don't worry. I got Jennings Dunker.
He looks like he can start your car with pure will.
That's actually hilarious. Come on, y'all. Give me some names. We got, I feel as if I'm in love with Stacy's mom. All right, Max. Josiah Trotter, very good one. Jake. Well, I think I'm done reading off these names. I feel like you guys are just giving me names that you're trying to make me say some weird shit. What up, Wesley? We ride or die for Chugs. We missed you, bud. Kubiak is going to be our coach. Let's go, and can I get a Raiders? Dude, you want to hear one of the funniest? If we get one more bang, I'm going to put down a beer, and I say that only because the only way I can read the message that I'm going to read on my Instagram, it has to be after a bang, and it has to be after a beer chug. I got a DM yesterday, and I audibly laughed out loud. It's from a group of college kids.
You LOL'd?
In the Seattle area. One of them, I guess, is a Raiders fan. All the other ones are Seahawks fans that watch this show, and they basically party with us. Like, he basically told me, he's like, when you guys are chugging beers, like, we chug beers too. I got this DM. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was hilarious. So I'm going to read it to y'all. But like I said, you got to get a bang in. What up, Wesley Wallace? Shout out to you, dude. And again, I hope people understand what we're trying to accomplish here as a company. And I hope y'all understand what Chugs is trying to accomplish as well. But when the weather is as bad as what it is, it's Dallas's fault. It's Dallas's fault.
Nathan Wolf.
I will get stoked about Schefter reporting signing Kubiak, but won't believe until after it's fully official. By the way, Michael Jordan and the way B-ball was back then.
All right, Nathan.
Again, I'm not a big basketball guy. I don't know it like that.
Come on!
But at the same time, I mean, when I talk to people who I think do know basketball, I think MJ's number one. I'll say this, though. I do think that there is a debate about Kobe and LeBron. And I think a lot more people at the Chat Sports office would lean LeBron.
I think a lot of people would lean LeBron over MJ.
But I don't think this chat would. Who's better all time, LeBron or Kobe?
Some people know ball, some people
L
don't.
for LeBron, K for Kobe. And again, like I'm asking this question because I love to talk Raiders, love to talk NFL, never afraid to put a beer back or two. But also, I want the Raiders Report to be a show very similar to the way, like, when I'm hanging out with my friends and family. We talk all sorts of sports.
Real ones know it's LeBron.
What up, Javier? Sammy win in the Rumble.
Okay. So Javier, I'm only going to give it to you if Sammy wins it, because that's your prediction. But he said, I'd rather Oba Femi or LA Knight. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I think that's the yeah guy.
Oba Femi is a dude he's like the up-and-coming young guy. Dude, he's like, bro, if he wanted to go to the NFL, he's like 6'6", 340 pounds, and moves like a running back.
I mean, get Lockie Tassi in the WWE. Get him in the WWE.
Fun fact, our Oregon guy, he actually tried out for the WWE. I don't know if you knew this.
I did not know.
Yeah, Ortner did.
Before, with his hair?
He sent in, like, him flexing, videos of him talking and stuff. Like, he went through the beginning process of trying out for the WWE.
I have never
No
heard
lie.
this. The only thing I wish was around for me, again, I could have never done the WWE. I do actually think I could have been a Savannah Banana. Like, again, I was good at baseball. I feel like I'm an entertaining guy compared to the average person. If you would have asked me, I'll tell you this right now, I wish the Savannah Bananas would have been around when I was getting right out of college.
Rich Wolf, Alpian Amen for Giannis. You doing it, Chugs? No, because I feel like we're kind of in the same spot. If we lose both those guys and then Giannis comes, like, I mean, I guess Giannis and KD, but I don't know if that's enough to get it done in the West. The West is stacked. Dr. K, you have to look at Tyron Montgomery. Fun fact, Dr. K, because a lot of y'all know I cover the Houston Texans here as well. Tyron Montgomery went to John Carroll University, a D3 university. The Texans GM, Nick Caserio, went to John Carroll University.
Ooh.
The Texans special teams coordinator, Frank Ross, John Carroll University. 2 other guys on the Texans coaching staff went to John Carroll University.
Pipeline.
Dude, you can't make it up.
Pipeline.
That they are, and this is a guy who, this is why I love the Senior Bowl. Before the Senior Bowl, he was listed as a UDFA. Now people have him going as high, I'm not kidding you, as the 3rd round. He's balled. He's been, everything that I've read, everybody that I've talked to that's been at the Senior Bowl said him and the Notre Dame wide receiver, easily the 2 best guys at the Senior Bowl at the receiver spot.
Bring him on in.
Tyron Montgomery.
Speaking, you said special teams coach. We were talking about coaches earlier. Watch out for Chris Partridge. I mentioned him in my DC candidates video. I actually think he could be the next special teams coach for the Raiders. And I say that because he played special teams coordinator at Michigan. And he did it for multiple years. And right now he's on that Seattle Seahawks team, coaching staff. Again, he's the outside linebacker coach in Seattle. But he's also done a lot of special teams work as well.
You know who's been doing work today?
Oh, my Lord.
Riverside
Raider! Bang! I'm going to pull out my hammer, the Thor hammer. Shout out to the Bacon Man, Jeremy Bacon. Let's go, man. Drink up, Mitch. Riverside Raider. I don't know if you know this or not. One of the deals that I'm doing in the year of 2026 is if you hit 5 bangs in a show, you get put into a raffle. What that raffle is at the very end of the year 2026.
1, 2.
I'm going to spin it. I'm going to spin a raffle. Maybe we'll do a duck race. I don't know. It depends how many people are in it. If it lands on you, you essentially get a weekend. Either A,
Oh, my God.
we fly you down here to Dallas,
AJ Styles almost
pay
just
for
won.
flight, hotel. You know, we go out, grab dinner. You get to join a Raiders Report show. Or B, I go to where you're at.
Oh, my gosh. AJ Styles just almost won.
If you flew to Dallas, you would get probably like more time because if I fly there, there's just a lot more logistical things I got to figure out. But I also understand that not everybody can fly here. And if I got to go to certain places, you know, I'll go there. Now, I will say this. If I go out there, I will bring somebody with me. Not that I don't trust you. It's more of just to make sure, you know, just to make sure type of thing. Shout out to Riverside Raider. I'm going to do this right now. The MVP of today's show, Riverside Raider. I want to see some RRs down below.
Low blow.
I want to see some RRs down below. Whoever spams Riverside Raider the most, you're going to get a free entry for a chance to win a Klint Kubiak jersey.
Gunther with the low blow, and then the just absolute, just Batista bomb, power bomb, and AJ Styles kicks out. Look at this. Look at this. Low blow. Oh, my goodness. Suavemente, John Chena wins today. Don't be surprised. If you can't see, though, that's hilarious.
Well, you can't see me. You can't see me. You know who I can see? Philip Bogert. getting in this duck race today. What up, Philip?
John Shana.
Right now, as it stands, it's 20 to win, $50. The more people that get in, oh boy, the more people, or the more people that get in, the more money we can give away. Craziness, dude. Craziness. So I see down below we got Marcel. What up, John Fallon? Joey B all the way. Buzz-O-Matic in the building. Shout out to my brother from another Bayou Raider. What up, Bayou? My wife and I were talking about you the other day. She was like, make sure that you tell that guy who was helping us out, thank you. She could, I don't want this to sound weird. Not that she wouldn't reach out to you, but I think she just knows that you and I talk all the time, so it's a little bit different. But she said, again, like, thank you for helping her out. Joey, Martin, D-Bro. Oh, my God. When did that happen?
Oh,
my Lord. Mark Prosser! Bang! Back! I watch the show religiously. You guys are the best Raiders show on the planet. I've got the day off work today, so let's get it going, boys. Raiders! All right, Mark.
Is this 200 in California money?
Is 200 Canadian? What is that in American dollars?
I think it's 200.
Is it?
I think it would be close, right? Like, I don't think it's like
I would imagine.
Right?
So this is saying, all right, hang on here. Hang on. It's actually, not that it's not, it's 200 Canadian is 150 US dollars. So here's how I'm going to do this. Mark Prosser just banged big time. And he technically threw one up. If somebody finishes that alley-oop, I imagine it's going to happen.
If somebody finishes Mark Prosser.
If somebody finishes off Mark Prosser, I know you guys are going to have Mark's back of 50. I'm already going to get this one poured.
Come on, AJ!
I'm already going to get this one poured up.
AJ Styles fighting for his life, fighting for his career.
No, this is a lot. I got to make sure that doesn't spill. If that spills, we're going to have a major issue here on this program. Major issue. Mark, dude, I know you've been showing up and showing out, Mark. Real talk, dude. Like, Mark Prosser, always a real one. I don't know how long you've been watching the show. What's always funny to me is just certain names, you can pinpoint.
That's it.
So many awesome experiences, so many awesome shows. How many people are left in this thing?
No, this isn't the men's. This is a different fight. So this is Gunther's the champion, and AJ Styles is fighting him for the championship. But if AJ Styles loses, he has to retire.
Gotcha.
It's a career versus. Is that Tony Hawk?
I actually think it is. Yeah, there's a skateboard. It's got to be. Is that his kid?
Oh, AJ's getting out of it.
Oh, I think it's because Liquid Death is now making cola. Interesting. Also, Mark Prosser threw it up. Rustin! Long! Throwing it down. Bang! Come on, Rustin. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get all caught up on these super chats, and then I think we're going to go through a segment. And I want to do a segment because, again, we're here for a reason. We're not just here chugging beers. I love that people are having a good time. I love that people are tuning into this show on a Saturday. But we are here to wait and see what happens with Klint Kubiak. We will do a mailbag here on today's show. It might be a wet and wild mailbag. I'm not going to lie to you. But also, I want people to know, like, I'm here to help and just give you more names. Like, I want people to watch this show, and then when you talk to your Raiders friends, when you talk to your people in your group, because there is a really famous singer who might actually join this show sometime soon. He's a big fan of the program, watches it all the time. I guarantee you know his music. And he was telling me, just how much like he enjoys watching the show and how like they have like a group chat. They got a giant group chat with all of their like Raiders buddies, and they talk stuff all the time. When I do this show, like I want y'all to be able to talk to like your friends and like say certain things, and they're like, "Oh wow, like that guy knows a lot about Raiders football." Because here's the other thing: when you guys say stuff to me, I put that in my Rolodex as well.
AJ Styles just lost.
Oh man, so what he's done?
I believe so.
Forever. I see a lot of people still spamming RR. I don't know if we ever gave away that spot. How about this? Since we've give away 3 tickets to somebody for a shot to win a Mendoza jersey, there's 2 in here, so it might take me a minute.
I'll go Marcel Farron, Jay Ortega, and I'll go with 403 Pardo.
Oh, dude, that BYU Cougar, insane. The strength that takes. So they just showed a video of the BYU Cougar. Again, we got the Senior Bowl on here. There's a table, and he's trying to push himself up and then get onto the other table. And then he does it again. That's like Ninja Warrior type shit. That's very, very impressive. Whew.
Here we go.
I'm happy we got those banh mi's. I needed that bread. Needed that bread to soak it up a little bit. Let's go to see Gabe Go. What up, Gabe Go? Again, y'all, I love the banging. I'm going to keep up with you guys today. I'm telling you that right now. I'm going to do my best. I'm here for a reason. I'm here to have a good time. And every bang from here on out. You bang on Super Chat, right? I'm going to give you 100 raffle tickets for your shot to win a Klint Kubiak jersey. And I'm going to do a beer bong. If you bang on Venmo, I'm going to give you 200 tickets, and I'm going to do a beer bong. Venmo's the better deal. Real talk, Venmo, we get more of the percentage here at Chat Sports. So I'm just being real. If you're the new DC, do you go out and get a true free safety since we basically have 2 strong safeties in the backfield, draft or free agency? This is a phenomenal question. No matter what, we need a true free safety. Need a true free safety. I would say the only way that you'd be able to get away without having a true free safety is if you went literally all in on the defensive line. Because you can kind of get away with having a Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Paul-Lamal as your safeties if your defensive line can get after it with 4. We don't really have that, and we're not even close to being able to have that. I like Jalen Lane a lot from New England. I think he's coming off arguably a career year. I did a video on the top 3 free agents that I would like the Raiders to pursue at every single position. If you want to go check it out, I did offense and defense. Probably went out last week at some time. And again, I know people can't watch the show every single day, but I promise you this. If you're thinking about something, I've probably already made a video on it. But the more important thing I think about this is if you truly properly believe in Isaiah Paul-Lamal as a player, you got to use him correctly. And what you saw this past year is everyone's like, oh, Isaiah Paul-Lamal stinks. No, he doesn't. You're just not playing him in the right spot. And if you're trying to properly develop players, because I'm so sick and tired of seeing our young guys go somewhere else and then they succeed. You know why that happens? It's because the coaching staff isn't using them in the proper spot. If you use Isaiah Paul-Lamal as a true box safety, a good number 3 safety, you're going to see him look like the way that he did in 2024. 2025, he's one of the worst safeties in the NFL because you're playing him out of position. Doesn't make any sense. It's like playing Ashton Genty at tight end and being like, that guy stinks. He doesn't stink. He's the running back. He ain't a tight end. I know it's maybe not apples to apples, but for this Raiders defense, it is at the utmost. It is very important to add a true free safety. It is. It's just whether it happens in free agency or whether it happens in the draft. If it happens in the draft, you're probably going to have to select somebody in round 2, round 3 to make sure that they're a starter, which is why if I'm the Raiders, safety is typically a position that doesn't get overpaid, which is why I'm okay Trevon Merrick left, because 3 for $59 was a lot for Merrick. I think that we should probably be able to sign a free safety in free agency with the amount of money that we have. Let's go to my man Kai. You got to keep an eye on Bud Clark. Bud Clark, is that... What's funny is I don't know if people are saying, okay, TCU.
Safety?
Oh, shit. Yeah, actually, it's funny you bring his name up. I was actually just talking to our guy from... he covers our Bears show. His name's Harrison. He was a TCU grad. Him and I were talking literally the other day about safeties, and he was like, oh, you should look at Bud Clark. And he's a really, really good cover safety from TCU. So it's actually funny that you bring this name up. I'm like, why is that name just ringing a bell? Bud Clark, legit safety. Suave, sneaky duo. Ronaldinho and Messi, it was electric. Now we're talking soccer.
The real one's no Ronaldinho.
Brazil, right? Brazil. Eric M., what do you think of Anthony Hill Jr., Paul to win?
Logan Paul, what a pick.
Oh, is Paul in this one? I don't think that would go over well, but at the same time, he gets numbers. Can't deny it. You can't deny that he gets numbers.
I think Anthony Hill Jr. is going to be a steal at the beginning of round 2. I think he's a do-it-all linebacker, sideline to sideline guy. I think he is who the beat reporters and Pete Carroll's staff thought Devin White was. That's how good Anthony Hill Jr. is. The beat reporters who were sucking off Devin White, how they thought he was good, that's actually how good Anthony Hill is.
Okay. Purple Walrus, if for some impossible reason the Jets give up 5 first-round picks, how do we resolve our quarterback issue in the upcoming season? Here's the thing, dude. I think even if the New York Jets offer every single one of their draft picks the next 3 years, I just don't know if they're going to do it, because if I'm Klint Kubiak, I'm taking this job to work with Fernando Mendoza. Like, if I'm the Raiders, I don't hire Klint Kubiak. If Klint Kubiak, I'm telling you this right now, as much as we want Klint Kubiak, and I've thought about this because I got asked this question the other day, I want Mendoza more than I want Klint Kubiak. And I only say that because I don't think that it would be smart for a coach to get this job, for our staff to hire a coach that doesn't want Fernando Mendoza. Like, I don't think that that's a smart plan to have. So I would sit up here and I would go, you hired Klint Kubiak for a reason. You hired him to work with Fernando Mendoza. Go get your guy. And it's just, if you think that he's a franchise quarterback, and I do, I think Fernando Mendoza is a franchise quarterback. Imagine asking the Buffalo Bills 5 first-round picks for Josh Allen. Imagine asking the Bengals, Joe Burrow, 5 first-round picks. Mahomes, Chiefs, 5 first-round picks. Like, when you have a quarterback that you really, truly believe is your franchise guy and you're trying to build around him on that rookie deal, teams aren't going to give up their quarterback for 5 first-round picks. Like, they wouldn't do it, and nor should you do it. So, like, to me, I really, really, truly believe in my heart of hearts that there's just not a price tag. You know, it's a price tag that's, yes, there is one, but it's never going to be reached because the Jets are never going to do it. And, you know, it's like, I don't know if anybody out there collects anything. Sometimes you can't put a price tag on certain things. Like, I have something that is very near and dear to me. I have something that my grandfather gave me, and that's one of those things where it's like, sure, you could offer me 5 first-round picks. You could offer me $10 million. I'm going to be honest. Like, I honestly don't think I would take the money.
$10 million?
It's a lot of money. And money can do a lot of things, and I get that. But there are certain things that I don't think you could put a price tag. Don't get me wrong, man. It'd be so it would be a mental pretzel for me to turn down $10 million. Now you offer me $1 billion, I think my grandfather would say, "You're an idiot if you don't take it." It's just got to be like that type of a price tag. What up, Raider? Devlian? I don't know if I got that one
Devilian?
right. Braun isn't even my top 3. MJ, Kobe, and Bird.
It's crazy because Hakeem's not in your top 3 either, so it's a false top 3.
Again, I'm not gonna sit up here and debate hoops all that much, but I think putting Larry Bird over LeBron James is a mistake, only because I do think LeBron James is arguably the greatest athlete of all time. Think about the size of that man.
Pause.
Don't even need to be a pause.
LCA.
As athletic as he is, still getting the job done.
Nathan Wolf is speaking truth. MJ number 1, Kobe number 2, James 15.
All right, fair enough.
Respectfully disagree.
I disagree as well.
We'll get to Preston's in just a second, but
I don't know how this got through. I wonder what Clint's opinion on Mendoza is. It's good. Again, if you're the Raiders, you do not hire a head coach if they don't think highly of Mendoza. Because what's important, and the reason why I do certain shows, like if you guys didn't see, yesterday I put out a video, my perfect Raiders offseason plan. It's important for the Raiders to come up with a plan. Like, if John Spytek and Tom Brady are going to be the decision makers, what do they want? If they want Fernando Mendoza, then you got to bring in a coach that wants Fernando Mendoza. It makes no sense for Tom Brady and John Spytek to want Mendoza and then hire a coach that doesn't want Mendoza. Doesn't make any sense. So by them hiring Clint, that Clint wants Mendoza. And if he doesn't, like, and that's the other part, like, who are you going to bring in free agency? You're going to bring Malik Willis in, pay him $30 million a year? I don't want that. You're going to bring in Kirk Cousins, pay him. I get he's got Clint ties, but you're going to bring in a old quarterback? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I could see them bringing in Cousins.
Yeah.
But
Ajax.
KK, all right, so Kubiak, Mendoza are the future. No more Band-Aids. No more Band-Aids, man. It's not easy to be able to find your head coach. It's not easy to be able to find your franchise quarterback. How did the interview go, Mitchell and Chugs? I have no information on the interview yet. Again, I'm waiting here to get news, just like all of y'all are waiting here to get news. I know it might shock some people. I have good information on some people. I always share that information with y'all. Clearly, I got to get a better source around Kubiak because I have nothing. But luckily, Chugs is tied into the Kubiak family.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we're going to lean on that, and I wouldn't want you to ask any of your family members, but
yeah. The thing is, it's like it's my stepdad's cousin.
Yeah.
So I also don't know, like, if he texted him right now, like, would he even, like,
Sure.
say, like, would he be like, oh, yeah, I'm taking the job?
So in theory, though, you're related in a sense through marriage to Klint Kubiak.
Yes.
Yes. Dude, imagine getting Clint up here on the program. It'd be wild.
I think the more likely if he takes the job sometime in the summer, I could possibly get him to zoom in.
Yeah, he's not going to do it today. I mean, that would be sick, I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, I don't want you to stoke the flame with your family. Be like, hey, I do this. Chugs ask, LOL from Raider Nation. It's true.
Samuel.
Demon is going to win. Go Raiders.
Now, Samuel.
I have no idea who that is.
If Finn Balor doesn't come out as the Demon and wins it, do I still give you the tickets?
What does that mean?
So, like, Finn Balor, like, sometimes he just, like, goes out as himself, and sometimes he, like, goes out, like, in full face paint, and he's like, I'm a demon.
So there's two people.
Technically, yes.
Gotcha. Preston Rodriguez, what's going on, man? Hey,
Woo!
Mitch Chugs. Headed to Dallas
0.
and the surrounding area for spring break. Can you give me 2 locations at a barbecue place where bones fall off the meats?
Oh yeah. Actually, there's a ton of great spots. Me and Mitch were just talking about like food around Dallas.
I actually think it depends how you like your barbecue. I mean, I would say most of the chat sports guys would say what? Hutchins?
Hutchins is great.
Hutchins is elite. If you go on Google, the number 1 spot's probably going to be, it's called a Pecan Lodge. I'm actually not as big of a fan as Pecan Lodge. Like, I like
You like Terry Black's more?
I like Terry Black's more. So, I would say, how do you like your barbecue sauce? If you're more like okay with it being vinegar base, I would say Pecan Lodge is where you should go. You might have to wait in line, but Terry Black's and Hutchins would be my top 2 recommendations, though.
I will say
it's not a great place on the outside. It's only open from 11 to 3 p.m.
Cadillac?
Super small. It's called Slow Bone.
Okay. There's another one very similar. It's only open like Thursday through Saturday or Thursday through Sunday. I think they open at 9 and then until they sell out. And you know it's good whenever it's like we don't close, we just sell out.
Yeah.
It's called Cadillac Barbecue. Dude, it is incredible.
Anthony F. getting in today's duck race. Terry Black's is, again, if you're in Dallas, Hutchins, Terry Black's, but luckily there's just so many places. I would actually caution people to not go to Pecan Lodge because there is a shot you're going to wait.
Yeah, you'll wait a long. I mean, if you go to Hutchins, you'll probably wait. Cadillac, you'll wait because it's only open for a certain amount of time.
Sure.
But honestly, Cadillac might be some of my favorite that I've tried down here. It's so good.
I mean, I've gone to so many different barbecue spots. There's so many good spots.
Preston,
down
while
here.
we're talking about it too, hold on.
What
Let me
do you
just
got?
make sure the name of it. Me and Mitch were just talking about it. Is it open still? Oh no, it's temporarily closed. Never mind. The fried chicken spot.
Oh, that place.
It's closed for right now. They're like doing renovations.
What up, Jax? What if we get Kubiak? He trades away. That would suck. It's not going to happen. Like, you don't hire Klint Kubiak if he wants to trade away the pick, in my opinion. Based on everything that's been reported, based on what I've heard, I don't see – he doesn't get the job if he doesn't want Mendoza. Jonathan Green, what's up, man? I'd rock a Kubiak Raiders jersey. Let's go. 26 was my brother's number. My lucky number since he passed away. R.I.P. Jimmy Green, my big brother. Jonathan, man, I'm sorry to hear that, but also Kubiak 26, the year of 2026. I think the year of 2026 is going to be a good year for the nation. Got to hope it is. Can't walk. Could Kubiak verbally commit to be the Raiders head coach before the Super Bowl or wait until after the big game? He can verbally commit. Like today at that interview, he can look at John Spytek, Tom Brady, and he can look at Mark Davis and say, I'm going to be the next head coach of the Raiders. He can. He can absolutely do that. The reason why I don't think that information is going to get out is because, one, if I'm Kubiak, I don't say that. I don't say that if I'm Kubiak because he's supposed to have his Cardinals interview later on today. So based on what I understand, Raiders interview is first, Cardinals interview is actually second. And I'm not saying that – I think the way that conversation, the interview ends is more of a, hey, I am interested in the job, very interested in the job. But, you know, if you're Kubiak and if you're Kubiak's agent, you're telling him and say, hey, man, like, don't say that that's the job that you're going to take. You say that this is the job that you're very interested in, but I need to go talk to Arizona. Then you go talk to Arizona, have a conversation, and then you come back to the Raiders and say, hey, Arizona, that job also looks really good to me. This is what they're offering me. If you offer me more, I'll take your job. That's how that's probably going to go. Nico, zero news on Kubiak still. Correct. What do you expect today? When would you expect news? Also, did you see the rumor about Mark Kubiak having dinner? Yes, I did. I talked about it this morning on the video I dropped. I actually reached out to the guy.
Mr. Vaines.
I still don't have anything from him, but it was text from a former coworker just now. Kubiak dining with Davis. Second interview for the Raiders at my old restaurant. So much for meeting on Saturday. And then he said that he ended up having dinner at El Gaucho, best steakhouse in the region. When I was home for training camp, I did a couple captain appearances and actually helped serve Davis and his party when they were in town for the preseason game.
What a free ad for El Gaucho.
Free, dude, El Gaucho hit me up. But, I mean, at the same time, though, you know, like, this thing, when people put out information like this, I don't see why they would make it up. You know, like, I just don't see why it would be made up. And what's important about here, best steakhouse in the region, and apparently it's a place Davis has been to multiple times.
And it's a Seahawks guy, so I don't think you'd be making up like, oh, they're meeting.
Yeah.
Like, he probably would be like, oh, they're not going to meet if he was going to make something up. Grab my Nussmeier.
Mitch, do you have a Panda Subs code? So the last code that I had is Raider Panda, but I'm going to be real. I have not gotten any information back on them. So as far as I know, you could probably still use code Raiders Panda, but I'm going to be real. At this time, I actually I don't know if Panda Subs is going to be back with us next month, which is sad, but they've had like a 5-year run. And I don't think that it's anything for us. It's just from what it sounds like from the owner is that they forgot to send the payment. So actually at this moment, I'm still going to tell you it's, I believe, code Raiders Panda, but also at the same time, if it doesn't work, I'm sorry if it doesn't work.
Los Oakland Raiders.
Honestly, this head coaching search is making me stressed plus nervous. We going to be next Brown? I don't think that this job's like the Browns job. You know, I don't think it's anything close. Like, we have a quarterback. And I know there's people out there that believe in Shedeur Sanders. And I don't want this to turn into anything that it doesn't need to turn into. But also at the exact same time, the Browns job, I think, is a really ugly job to get. Because not only are you dealing with Shedeur Sanders people, I think Shedeur Sanders himself isn't really the problem. I think it's the people outside. Like, when you hear like Emmanuel Acho say that Shedeur shouldn't listen to Todd Monken because what does he want? That happens because Emmanuel Acho knows his audience. He knows that people get triggered easily. And when you talk about Shedeur, unfortunately, it always gets turned into a conversation that's not around football, which I'm not going to do up here. You also have Deshaun Watson. Like, the quarterback controversy, whoever that next head coach is, and I know it's Todd Monken now, but no matter who it would have been, you're going to get into quarterback controversy because there's going to be people that are, well, you should play Deshaun Watson because that's the contract. And there's going to be the other side that's like, well, you should play Shedeur Sanders because he was the quarterback.
Imagine ever giving the advice of, you know what you should do? You shouldn't listen to your boss. Like,
I mean, it's the reason why, though. Like, I actually think a lot of people who are on TV, I actually think it's why we're more popular. I think it's why Chat Sports is succeeding. I think it's because people know, and it's unfortunate, but there's a lot of really bad takes on national television. I'm not to say that we don't have bad takes either. Everybody does.
What pisses me off is everybody likes to go at the content creators and people who are doing it for themselves on YouTube and being like, clickbait. You know who the biggest clickbait people are? ESPN, Fox Sports, all these different organizations that hire Emmanuel Acho, Stephen A. They're the bigger clickbait people, but it's easier to go after the little guys like us. That's all I'll say. But if you're saying clickbait, they're the biggest clickbaiters in the whole business.
And what's sad, like, honestly, man, like, it does trigger me because I don't think that we are clickbait. Like, yeah, I think a lot of times it's people don't read titles. I think it's people just click on something and they expect something, and if it doesn't meet their expectation, you know, they get upset and they call it clickbait. I think that's the world, unfortunately, that we live in right now. But
the only reason
our job, the Raiders' job, is nothing like the Browns'
The
job.
only reason Emmanuel Acho said that is because he knew it would get clicks. I highly doubt he even believes what he was saying.
And if he does believe what he was saying, then honestly, like that's somebody that shouldn't be employed.
Yes.
And I get it. And I know, I'll tell you this, I know for a fact there are people that are hired by ESPN, by Fox Sports, by CBS to put out the craziness because they know the craziness drives clicks. And I know people call us clickbait, this and that, but I do hope people like really truly realize like that's not my end game. If I wanted to be a clickbait merchant, believe me, I would do a much better job of it than what I do. Alex Bugs, what up, man? Just finished painting the jet for the Super Bowl flyover. Timeout.
$100 if you fit in Mitch and Chugs on there. We'll Venmo you $100 if we see Mitch and Chugs on the plane.
I don't think you'd see anything on the plane.
Just on the bottom, it just says bang.
I don't think you put that on a plane.
Yeah.
It's probably not a good thing to put on.
Just put RR on the bottom. People are like, what is that?
Raider Ron. Nico Les. How close your stepdad and Clint? We talking like first cousins, speak semi-often, or like third cousins twice removed that he found on 23andMe?
No, they're connected through, I believe, his parents and Gary Kubiak's parents are siblings. So maybe I don't know what level of cousin. They all go to like family reunions, always talk and stuff like that. The only thing is that you can imagine, I mean, me and Mitch, we always talk about like, oh, you have to miss family gatherings, miss that and the other. He hasn't seen him in a little bit. He's seen Gary. He hasn't seen him or his brother in a little bit because every time they do stuff, they're always out and about. Like, if it's during football season, there is a 0% chance that they will be able to attend. And, I mean, that's the sucky, reality of the business. But,
I mean, did you hear Mike McDonald the other day? Seahawks head coach was talking about how much time he gets with his son a week. Did you hear this?
no, how much?
How much do you think?
An hour?
He said he gets 30 minutes a week with his son. And again, like, to me, I know I'm busy. Like, my wife sometimes gets mad at me because I don't want to say, like, I give you guys my everything and she gets my leftovers. But, it's been a statement that she's made to me before because when you run a live show and you do this, like, again, I think people, when they meet me, I'm actually a lot more laid back in person than what people realize. But I also love what I do for my job, and I know that this is my job, and I always, always, always give Raider Nation 110%. I do. I always give you guys 110% because I don't know how to do anything else. I get tired. You guys see me. I get tired on some days. I was tired when I started the show. I'm not going to lie. Those beers kind of woke me up a little bit, and I'm feeling some type of way right now. But, like, when you cover the NFL, you really don't get any days off. Like, I get days off, right? Like, I do, but I'm always on call. And if the Raiders do something, I take a lot of pride in being the number one person that I want fans to come here and be like, you know what? I want to hear what Mitchell Renz has to say. So I can't even imagine what it's like from an actual NFL coaching standpoint. It's got to be right up there where, like my buddies, they're getting together for the World Baseball Classic. I have friends all the time that get together for vacations, and it's, I can't do it because my responsibility in my mind is to be able to put a roof over my head, food on the table for my family, to be able to put my family in the best situation we can going forward because I had a beautiful childhood, but I want to be able to give my kids a lot of the stuff that I didn't have. And in my mind, I'm like, hey, Raiders, 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 I'm going to do that. And when I have kids, I'm not going to lie to you, like, they're going to get a lot more than 30 minutes a week. I promise you that. But it's tough, dude. It's tough.
And he's like, yeah, I see their significant others, I see their mom all the time and stuff like that. But he's like, it's just the unfortunate. And like you said, it's like I didn't know that Mike McDaniel said 30 minutes.
30 minutes a week.
Wow.
30 minutes a week. I mean, like, I hear that, and that makes me never want to be a coach in the NFL. Because, again, like, to me, I had the relationship with my dad the way that I do, and I'll never forget it. I hit my very first T-ball home run. He wasn't there. He missed it. He was at work. And I give my dad a lot of credit for this because, again, where I grew up, Central PA, like, you're talking, again, T-ball, I'm 7 or 8 years old. So how many years ago is that? That's 25 years ago. 25 years ago where I lived making six figures is like, Again, you make over $100,000 in Danville, Pennsylvania 25 years ago. You're living large. Now, my dad also, I'll give him credit. He built our house by hand, so he was doing really, really well for himself. I just really never got to see him. I hit my first home run. He quit his job that day. He then started working in Danville. He's probably making, like, I don't know, 30 to 40,000 a year. But the relationship I have with my dad is worth, I think, more than anything that money could have possibly brought in. And that's the other part where I'm grinding right now. So that way, when I have kids, spoiler alert, 5-10 years from now, you're probably not going to see me as much as you do now, but I also think it's the level of respect, right? Like, we're building a community here, and I think that you guys deep down want me to be able to spend time with my kids, to be able to spend time with my family at that moment. I'm losing to around Dallas area. Spring break is the best time to check things out.
Heck yeah.
I mean, if I'm being real with you, if I'm going spring break, I think Austin would be better, but summertime, though, you get to go in the water a little bit.
JC plays.
What type of deal would you give to Kubiak? Also, Lamar, I'm not interested in. Not that I'm not interested in, but you're not going to get Lamar Jackson. Go get Mendoza. Go get your guy. And I think it's a lot easier to just go get Mendoza. We'll just leave it like that because I don't think Baltimore's interested in moving on from him. Wait, can you go back? Sorry, there was one more part of that. I believe Klint Kubiak, when you look at a lot of the deals that have happened this offseason, a lot of them are 5-year deals. So if I'm Kubiak and if I want a 5-year deal, I'm going 5 for probably $75 million. It's right around $15 million per year. If I wanted to tie myself to Spytech, because Spytech's got 4 years left, then I could see it being like 4 for 70. Where then that, whatever that math is, let's say it's 16, 17 million in that range. It makes you a little bit higher paid of a coach. I could see somewhere in that range. 4 for 70 or 5 for like 75. What up, Aggressive? If math is mathematically inquisitive or quizzical, what are tests? Anyway, happy Saturday, nation. Let's get Kubiak.
Nice.
Never change, my guy. Never change. New pick, too. Go Raiders. You guys are the best Raiders watch because I've been a lot of other pages, channels. Those guys talk shit about you guys, and you guys are chill. Yeah, I mean, what's sad is I actually think I do a lot for a lot of other Raiders content creators, and I know I've done a lot for a lot of other Raiders content creators out there. I also think that there's more Raiders content creators than any other team because of what we have done. Because I do. I think people look at me as a normal dude, and they're like, oh, I can do that. And you can do that. I think they look at what Chugs and I have, and it's like, oh, like, that's a good time. Like, we can do that, and you can do that. I think the unfortunate part of this business is, you work with people that are good people. Like, the other day I found out, like, Simone Rader's YouTube channel got hacked. I shared it because I know Simone Rader's always been very kind to me. There are certain people in this industry that I know have my back, and I'm a lot more cautious now because I have helped out people get to where they are. I'm not saying I'm the reason why they're there, but the unfortunate part, I think, of doing this sometimes is there's always a level of jealousy, and people could say jealousy is not the right word, but I know people see our success, and they get mad, and I wish they wouldn't get mad at us. I wish that they would just look themselves in the mirror and go, how can I do a better job to compete with those guys? And a lot of times it's just easier to say, Mitch is this, Jeremy's that, the Raiders report is this, instead of going, all right, I got to look internally and how do I make better content for Raider Nation? And it's just one of those things, man. But I know this. I know in my heart of hearts, I've done nothing in my power.
You ask some people, we paid for all y'all to watch this. We pay for our views, so.
Yeah, and
everybody look in your mail this week for a Raiders report check, apparently.
It's again, to me, I know I've helped out a lot of people in this industry, and it's something that I try to be a little bit more careful because there's one person you probably know who I'm talking about who I know for a fact I've helped out a lot, and the way that the relationship has gone, it does. It makes me sad because it is sad. And it is what it is. But I'll tell you this, I love my job. I love the Raiders Report. And I think the community that we're building here is what Raider Nation is all about. I think we need to do a better job of joining the nation together instead of trying to separate people apart. What up, Nav? Who said they were Peyton Jets for the flyover?
That would be Alex Bug.
Obviously, military can tell him that these are subtle ways to send messages as a 25 E8 aviation. You're speaking a different language right now.
But Navman, everybody, thank you. If you have served this country, we appreciate you as always. And if you could, go to saveawarrior.org. It helps veterans and first responders dealing with PTSD and dealing with mental issues. We're always here to help. And I think probably more than, I'm not going to say more than anybody else on the internet because I have no idea. But I'm really proud of how much we've donated to saveawarrior.org with the help of our guy, LA Crash Dog, 93 Navman. It makes me feel good about what we're doing.
Absolutely. And I see a lot of people saying spill the tea. I'm not somebody that's going to spill tea unless I feel like it needs to be spilled. Again, to be honest with you, I don't really have a problem with any content creators out there. I also don't look at any content creators as competition, and maybe that's a backhanded statement, but I don't. I'm confident in me. I'm confident in the product that we provide, and I know that we have a good product here. So if people look at me as competition, it's probably because they're a little bit more, honestly, insecure about themselves. I don't think that that's an untrue statement to make. But I'm not going to spill tea. I think if you know me and you know this show, I think you know who I'm talking about.
Caesar.
Mitch, when you going to link up? Unfortunately, that answer is probably never. Again, Wasted's a great dude. I have a lot of respect for that guy. But I also have to be able to do a better job of setting boundaries because when people, are Wasted associates himself with someone that I will never associate myself with ever again. And that's probably the most obvious statement that I can make. But I think Wasted knows I will always have his back. I think Wasted's an outstanding dude. I think he provides great content. But at the exact same time, I can't associate myself with certain people because of what certain people have said about me, about what certain people have done to other people. And unfortunately, I hate Raiders content creator politics. It's why I don't get involved with it. But there's a reason why certain people love the politics. And it is what it is, man. But I wish I could, dude. I'll tell you that. Lord Cameron Abbott! Bang! Let's go! It's testicles. That's definitely what? The Master Raider one?
Yes.
Shout out to my guy, Lord Cameron Abbott.
Shout out to y'all. We've been chilling, hanging out, taking questions for the past 2 hours. We are now all caught up on Super Chats. So, and of course, as soon as I said that, D-Rock Raider sends one in. We'll get to D-Rock's Super Chat here in just a moment because I feel like if we answer that, then we're just never going to get to the the content.
Yeah, we do have 2 actual cuts for you guys today. I want to get into some free agent targets that I think Klint Kubiak could be interested in. And again, we're going to only look at it from the offensive side of the football because in my mind, Kubiak, offensive guy, he's going to be the one calling plays. So if I'm going to connect players to Kubiak, I'm going to connect them through the offensive side of the ball. Now, don't get me wrong. There will be times this offseason because, again, I'm trying to make content for y'all, trying to give you guys my opinion. And I will probably talk about some other defensive players that we could look at, but that's after Kubiak hires the DC, after Kubiak brings in some other defensive guys. So that's how I'm going to end up doing it.
And looks like Drew McIntyre just won it.
For what? Royal Rumble?
Oh, no, not the Royal. This was the match before the Royal Rumble for the title.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I have not paid attention to this at all.
It's okay. Royal Rumble coming up next.
No, I feel like the underwear, knee pads, and boots is like a staple in WWE.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine wearing something like that. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I absolutely would. But I don't think that that's comfortable. Oh, my Lord, dude. Just threw him through a freaking table? You could say it's fake all you want. That hurts. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't hurt right there. Yeah, you can't tell me. Again, man, I'm not going to spill the tea. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I will say this, though. I don't really want you mentioning certain people on my shows, so I'll just, please do not mention certain people. If you see you get put in timeout, it's just because there's certain names that I do not want to be associated with. So if we could, let's just get off the topic, because again, I'm not trying to go down that route. I want to focus on Raiders. I want to focus what we got here on the Raiders Report. But if I do see I see somebody's name who, again, I will not associate myself with in the chat. If I keep seeing it, I'm just going to put you in timeout. And that's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just because I don't want to be associated with that person. So, I hope that's okay. Oh, Big Raider Mike, him and I are good. But Big Raider Mike and I also know the type of person that someone is. Coming up here on the show, let's get into some of these free agent targets for Klint Kubiak. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up here on today's show, I'm going to be looking at the top free agent targets for Klint Kubiak if he is hired to be the next Raiders head coach. I'm live right now on the Raiders Report. This is Saturday, and I came in live today because I'm sitting here like every Raiders fan waiting, wondering, is Kubiak going to be the next head coach of the Silver and Black? Now, I will say this. If the player you see on this show, this is not me saying I like this player and that I would want the Raiders to go out and sign them. That's not it at all. What today's objective is on this program is every single player has a connection to Kubiak. And we know it from all of the different coaching staffs and regimes that this organization has brought in over the past few seasons. If you have a connection to a coach, that makes you a target for the Raiders. And with over $89.3 million according to Over the Cap, it's going to be a little bit more once some of that extra money rolls in. Top two money in salary cap space. We're going to have the money to go out and spend. And because we have the money to spend, you're going to see a lot of names on today's show. Since Kubiak is an offensive-minded coach and he's a play caller on the offensive side of the football, we will only look at players on offense today. We're going to first start with quarterback. And when you think about quarterback, again, I want to be very clear. I want the Raiders to draft Fernando Mendoza. I believe the Raiders are going to draft Fernando Mendoza. I don't think you hire Klint Kubiak unless he wants to coach Fernando Mendoza. But at the same time, when you look at this quarterback roster, you got to be able to face the facts and know. Geno Smith's going to be gone. Kenny Pickett's going to be a free agent. Aiden O'Connell is literally the only quarterback that we have on this team. So if you want to try to bring in somebody else, I do think that is very, very, very important. Let's first talk about the name here, Kirk Cousins. At this moment, he's not a free agent, okay? At this moment, he's not a free agent. I anticipate that the Atlanta Falcons are going to end up moving on from him because I think the amount of money they would owe him, it's like $67 million. I don't want that to happen. And I don't think you're going to have to pay him a lot. But Kubiak did work with Cousins from 2019 to 2021. So if you did want to bring in a bridge quarterback, Cousins could be at least a name to keep in mind. If it was up to me, though, I think you already got your good backup bridge quarterback. It's Aiden O'Connell, who can teach your new guy, Mendoza, the ways of Kubiak. Let's go to another name here. It's Brett Rippon. And he was with Kubiak in 2022 with the Denver Broncos. Not sitting up here saying it's going to be anything special, but if you're looking for a quarterback 3, you bring in Brett Rippon, somebody that knows the offense maybe a little bit. Again, in 2022, Kubiak wasn't an OC. To be clear, the only years that he's been an offensive coordinator, 2021 with Minnesota, 2024 with New Orleans, and 2025 with the Seattle Seahawks. Because I want the Raiders to draft Mendoza. Mendoza's going to be your guy. So if you're going to bring in some other QBs, you want him to be able to work with them. But also, if you checked out my video that I did probably a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, about the quarterbacks that Mitchell Renz, would look at bringing into the building, the people that I would look at are not anybody that I mentioned on today's show. Let's go to the running back position next up here on the program in terms of some Kubiak free agent targets, and there's a lot of names. And I know that some people don't think that the Raiders are going to go out and sign a running back, but I actually personally do. I could see the Silver and Black not only signing a running back in free agency, but also drafting one because you have Ashton Jeanty. And Jeanty does need to have fresh legs, hopefully in December and January when we're playing some meaningful football. But Raheem Mostert, Zamir White, both free agents. Does anybody here have any confidence in Dylan Laube? Does anybody have any confidence in Chris Collier? I know this. I personally do not. So for me, if I'm the Raiders, I'm going out and I'm trying to find that RB2. The top running back in the open market this offseason is Kenneth Walker. I don't think Kenneth Walker comes to Las Vegas, but if you were the Raiders and you said, all right, maybe I want to go with a two-headed monster. I mean, Jeanty and Kenneth Walker is the definition of a two-headed monster. But I do think you have to bring up Walker because he's been with Kubiak, and he's right now the main back in Seattle. Let's go to another back here for the Seattle Seahawks. It's George Alani. Smaller dude who's getting some work right now because Zach Charbonnet ended up tearing his ACL. I don't anticipate this being a big-time deal, but if you're the Raiders and you're like, hey, man, I want to add an RB4, you could bring in a George Alani. What about a Jeremy McNichols? This was somebody that worked with Kubiak back in 2023 with the San Francisco 49ers. And you got to talk about all the different teams, all the different regimes that Kubiak's been a part of. You bring in a guy like Jeremy McNichols, again, you're not going to have to pay him a lot. Probably pay him the vet minimum, $1.2 million. What about a dude like Chase Edmonds? Edmonds was with Kubiak in Denver in 2022. This was a back that I liked him a lot at Arizona, had some unfortunate injuries, went to some different coaching regimes. That could be somebody to keep in mind. What about Tyler Batty? Right now is looking halfway decent in Denver. Kubiak worked with him in 2022. Pass catching back, can do some different things for you, a little bit of a scat back. Alexander Madison, right, former Raider. We brought him in, a few years ago when the Raiders ended up hiring Kennedy Polamalu, running back coach in Minnesota at the time. But Alexander Madison was with Kubiak in Minnesota when Clint was the offensive coordinator of the Vikings. You know what's funny? You weren't the only one. If you told me Amir Abdullah and Alexander Madison could potentially be back with this organization, I would find that to be very, very interesting. But no doubt, we need to be able to find a running back that we believe in that can be a good third down back, that can catch the football, because that probably is the weakest part of Jeanty's game right now. What about Kene Nwanu? You know, I can remember doing shows 2-3 years ago when the Raiders brought in Kennedy Polamalu talking about these different Minnesota Vikings running backs. If you're looking for a thumper that can come in for just a few carries here and there, maybe. But again, the objective of today's show is to sit up here and say, hey, this guy has a connection to Kubiak. I'm not saying that this is somebody I would go out and get. It's just simply because we have so many different holes, there's going to be a lot of holes that we need to fill. Giggity. And sometimes those lower level depth spots, those I'm just trying to build depth on this program, those guys come from certain coaching connections, which is what we're trying to accomplish today. So here's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Who will be the first player the Raiders sign in free agency? You're about to get in with a YouTube ad break. While that ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down and give me your answer. Let me know who you think that first player is going to be that the Raiders sign. Given a specific player might be difficult. So I'll just say it like this. I hope that they help in the trenches. Yes, I would like it to be on the offensive side of the football. Maybe it's a Tyler Lindenbaum. Maybe it's a Braden Smith, somebody on the offensive line. Though it could also be somebody on that defensive line, like a John Franklin Myers. This needs to be a team that values the trenches, because when you value the trenches, it helps you make all the other players around you better. And because this team has so many damn holes, if you help your trenches, it helps everybody else out. If you try to build around everything else and you ignore the trenches, it hurts the other players that you invested in. If you haven't already, I hope that you guys hit that subscribe button. Hope you turn on your notifications, especially if you're looking for free agency videos all off season long. I wasn't born a Raider fan, but I hope people know that watch this show. I bleed silver and black now, and there's not going to be another person on the planet that outworks me. There's not going to be somebody else on the planet that also provides more content for Raider Nation. So if you're just like me and you're excited about the offseason, I hope they hit that subscribe button. And if you don't learn anything after a week watching this show, unsubscribe. You got absolutely nothing to lose. Let's go to the wide receiver position here. And this is another one, right? If you plan on drafting Fernando Mendoza, I do think it's important for you to potentially bring in a wide receiver in free agency because of how young this receiver group is. You got Trey Tucker, you got Jack Besh, but both of those guys are young. Lockett's going to be gone. Bachman's going to be gone. So then you're looking at all the other names you got here. Shedrick Jackson, Dante Thornton Jr. There is so many unknown commodities. I will say this. Probably the number one player that I would want the Raiders to go out and target that has a connection to Kubiak, it's Rashid Shaheed. We need a receiver that can stretch the field, that gives us some special teams value, but also has those Klint Kubiak connections. Shaheed was with them not only this past season in Seattle, the reason why he's there right now in Seattle, because he was with them in New Orleans. Then New Orleans ends up trading him to Seattle during the trade deadline. When you have a running back like Genty, when you have a great two tight end duo, you need somebody that can take the top off of a defense. And that's what Rashid Shaheed could do. He's not a true number one, but Bowers can be that true number one. And Shaheed could be that other number two. Let's go to Derek Young here, 6'2", 224-pounder. This is, again, bottom of the roster type player. Jake Bobo, I do actually think would be a little bit more of an intriguing option, who's actually done a little bit more in the playoffs than he did during the regular season. In terms of Seattle, those are the players that are right now with the Seahawks. But if you go back and you look at a year like 2024, Marcus Valdes-Scantling was there in New Orleans when that offense had to rely on some of its backup players a little bit. 19 catches, 411 yards. That's a field stretcher. And if you know that you're still looking for a field stretcher, he's probably like 32 years old now, but there's a connection there. That's not the only name. Dante Pettis, another little bit bigger of an outside receiver, which is something that this team needs, no doubt about it. Pettis, 12 catches, 120 yards and a touchdown in New Orleans in 2024. Then, this is probably one of the bigger names, Juwan Jennings. Jennings scares me a little bit because I am concerned he might get overpaid based on the year he had in 2024, based on the year that he had in 2025. I'm not paying Juwan Jennings north of $15 million a year. I do think he gets north of $15 million a year. Like, if you're telling me I could pay $15 million north for Juwan Jennings or about $15 million for Rashid Shaheed, I'm taking Rashid Shaheed every single day of the week and twice again on Sunday. And I'm filming this on Saturday, so give me it twice again on Saturday. Jennings, though, didn't do a lot with Kubiak in 2023, but he will be one of the top free agent wide receivers out there this upcoming season. Coming up next here, though, on the program, we're going to look at some tight ends, we're going to look at some offensive tackles, and we're also going to look at some interior offensive linemen that the Silver and Black could target in free agency if they hire Klint Kubiak. Before I get into that, though, huge shout-out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks, because the big game, it's almost here. And there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season outright with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Do you miss fantasy football? If the answer to that is yes, Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football each week, pick your favorite players, and win when they hit their projections every week. So up on screen right now, this is not my personal lineup. This is actually Reed's lineup that he threw together. But I do like this lineup for fans out there that are rooting for Klint Kubiak, that are rooting for Seattle in the big game. Why? Drake May, the value's there at 0.5 passing yards. You know the more is going to happen. And then I like to consider this a little bit of a Klint Kubiak stack. JSN, Kenneth Walker, Sam Darnold. Though I will say it's not a conventional Prize Pick stack, because a conventional Prize Pick stack is picking the same player up to 3 times. But if you plan on watching the big game, luckily for you, Prize Picks is available in all 50 states. So download the Prize Picks app today. make sure that you use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Let's now go to the tight end group here. And the tight end room is, again, you got Brock Bowers, you got Michael Mayer. It's finding that replacement for Ian Thomas, who's your tight end 3. I'll also say this, Albert O, who's one of our backups right now, he actually also has some ties to Kubiak. So I actually do think that Albert O is going to be somebody that ends up making this roster because, again, of those connections. You also have Carter Runyon, who did a halfway decent job last year as a UDFA coming out of Townsend. But your number one objective, how can I find that Ian Thomas replacement? Maybe you bring in Brady Russell. I'll be real. Not even really a tight end. This would be more of like a John Raddington replacement. Raddington was a linebacker we brought in from Seattle and really just a special teams demon. That's what Brady Russell is. He's listed as a tight end. He's really just a special teams player. This is going to be a name that I think fires up everybody. Foster Moreau, Australian for tight end number 3 on the Raiders team. I have a lot of respect for Foster, and I still constantly, I mix up Foster Moreau and Michael Mayer all the time because they wear 87, but, Foster's had to deal with a lot of stuff since leaving the Raiders, and I don't know if he would want to be a tight end 3 on this organization, but what I do think was he was used properly by Kubiak in 2024. Again, a lot of injuries popped up, but if you're trying to be a team that wants to run the football, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world to kind of do what the Rams have done and do a little bit more 3 tight end sets, especially when you're not 100% sold on your wide receiver 1, which I don't know if the Raiders are going to be 100% sold on their number 1 wide receiver. Another name here to throw in because he is a tight end, it's Taysom Hill. I don't really think that this one's just going to happen. The theme of today's show was trying to put names together that have worked with Kubiak. Greg Dulcich, I do think is actually an interesting name because he's more of a blocker. And if I want to bring in a tight end 3 for this organization, you got to be able to block, which is what Greg Dulcich does. Also, it's what Andrew Beck does, who you could consider him even more of a fullback than you do a tight end. And if you're looking for a tight end 3 that, again, block, you can bring in Beck to be that tight end 3, but also you'd be able to go with a fullback here if you want to go a little bit more power I. Another name to throw out there is Tyler Conklin. When I first started doing this show, I actually had the opportunity. Conklin and I would DM from time to time. He seemed like a good dude. 61 grabs back in 2021 when he was with Kubiak in Minnesota. And that's like right when he first came out of Central Michigan. He's not even close to that player anymore. But because he was good with Kubiak with the Vikings, who knows? Maybe that's somebody he would keep in mind. Coming up here next, though, on the program, we got some targets to look at the offensive line. And never going to sit up here and lie to y'all. It's not going to be the offensive lineman that I think a lot of y'all want to hear. But because the Raiders still need some extra depth on that line, the names could be some names that we do go out and bring in because of how many free agents we have hitting the open market. So make sure you guys don't miss anything going on around the Raiders Report, especially when we do events. I've never been out to San Jose, California. I can't wait because, we meet so many amazing people that watch this show. Like I'm looking right now down in the chat. I see Eddie, Austin, Roxco. Shout out to Kurt, Omello, Nathan Wolf. I've actually hung out with Nathan. When you actually meet somebody in person, it is, man. It's a different level. Like you feel, me as a host, I get to see so many people every single day. But I only get to see your name. I only get to see your logo. You guys actually get to see my face. So when I finally get to meet y'all, it's like that. It's just the extra level of me getting to know y'all. And I want to build the number 1 Raiders community in the world. So if anybody out there wants to hang out with Chugs and I, here's the date. There's the time. There's how you can call to reserve your spot. It's going to be a packed house. And if you live close to the area, I hope they end up showing up. Let's go to the offensive tackle position now for the silver and black. And OT is, we got Colt Miller on the left side. It depends what you feel about DJ Glaze. It depends how you feel about Charles Grant. Because if one of these guys can end up winning that job, then maybe it's not as big of a need. At the same time, I don't know if I blame anybody with not having a lot of confidence in Glaze coming off the year that he did, though. He looked a lot better as a rookie probably because Brennan Carroll wasn't with this organization then. But if you're the Raiders and you're going to draft a quarterback, you have to make sure that his tackle position is solidified. I would say the top name out there is Josh Jones, who did play in 12 games this past season, ended up getting injured. But even this, this isn't a name that's going to inspire a lot of confidence in me personally. I'd say just you're better off rolling with Charles Grant. Landon Young, monster of a human being, 6'7", 321 pounds, played 11 games with the Saints in 2024. What about Spencer Burford? 13 games played, 5 sacks allowed, 6'4", 300 pounds from UTSA in 2023 with San Francisco when Kubiak was a part of that regime as a pass game coordinator underneath Shanahan. Let's now go to the interior offensive line position here, because if I'm looking at the Raiders' needs, I look at interior offensive line as one of the biggest needs on this roster. Ben Barch was in San Francisco with Kubiak in the year 2023, played in 7 games, allowed 2 sacks. Matt Pryor, gigantic human being, 6'7", 332 pounds out of TCU, 5 games with Kubiak. And then, out of all the names, this would be the one that I do think is really interesting, Dalton Risner. And I say that because Risner was a guy that I talked about last year. And I remember people being like, no, Mitch, we're going to be fine. We don't need an interior offensive lineman. Dalton Risner is still good enough to be able to go out there and be a potential starter. There are other areas that I would rather address, and there's other guards that I think would be a better fit for us. But if you're just talking about a veteran who's worked with Klint Kubiak, out of all these names on the interior, Dalton Risner's the one to keep an eye on. If you made it this far in the video and you appreciate the content that we're providing here today, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on social media. I'm at MitchellRens365. But at the end of the day, I'm excited about free agency. I'm excited about what can happen. And I'm excited to see this show continuously grow. And I hope it continuously grows. So if you're not already subbed and you learned something from today's program, I hope if you made it this far, you hit that sub button. Let's go to Darren Morris here. Simone Raider and you talking would be dope.
A little bit of a Royal Rumble update so far. We are, 6 guys in. Obafemi,
yep,
the guy I was telling you about, the massive guy, he's eliminated all 3 people so far. He's an absolute tank. So anybody that said Obafemi,
dude, he's gigantic.
Dude, this is the guy I was telling you could play in the NFL.
Without a doubt.
He's eliminated every single person so far. Yep.
Yeah, he's gigantic.
Hey, dude, he's eliminated every single person so far.
That's just a gigantic human being. I would love to be able to link up with Simone, and I think he would like to link up with me too. I think the hardest part about it is I'm already very busy. I'm hoping in the future I'm actually able to hire not a secretary, but somebody who's able to handle a lot of the, hey, let's bring this guest on. Hey, let's bring this guest on. Hey, let's bring this guest on. I personally don't have the bandwidth or the power to do that right now. But I'm hoping the next 2 to 3 years, we hire somebody who their job is literally just produce for this Raiders show and find ways for me to get more guests on the program. Because I would love to be able to do that more. It's just, I hate to say it, it would be another thing on my plate that I have to do. And
Mr. Raider for life. I would say there's definitely much more unknown in Arizona. Yeah. They're going to trade Kyler Murray. They don't have a quarterback either. They benched Kyler Murray, and he's not going to be the quarterback next year.
Yep. I don't even think it's close. I think there's way, way, way more unknown in Arizona than there is the Raiders. Yep.
But, that's your opinion. If you think Arizona has it all set together, I disagree.
I definitely do not think I'm too good to hang out with Simone. Simone and I, man, we go way back. Again, there's not many people that have been in the content game longer than me. Simone Raider and Sanjeet will always, always, always have my respect.
I will say Simone, more than anybody else, I think, kills the Instagram game. If I said, who's the number 1 YouTube Raiders content creator, I think it's Mitch without a doubt. If you ask me who do I think is the best Instagram guy, I don't think there's anybody more known than Simone Raider on Instagram.
I think Simone kills on IG. He does, man. He absolutely kills it over there.
Also, Obafemi just knocked somebody else out.
Jesus. What up, Nav? Explain to us all if your 6-year-old Mitch and Chugs did more for me than can be imagined. Support me with my own content. Mutual support. Done.
Nav, man.
Shout out to Nav.
Hey, click on his channel. Obviously, you see him in the chat. He does a lot of fun lives and really like some chill hangout, like Raider talk. Just if you're looking for the vibe of just a bunch of chill guys talking in a bar about Raiders and 80s and 90s rock and roll.
Big facts.
R.I.P. to the great tuna.
Gabriel Ruiz, I just saw you got in this duck race. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I got to go take a pee. I think some of these happy dads are starting to happy dad me. So
all right. So
I'm going to go take a leak. Chugs is going to continue to roll through these. Reminder, we will be getting a mailbag going as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's next up. Get your questions in. Once Mitch gets back, we'll do a mailbag, and then we'll finish off by watching the Royal Rumble, seeing if anybody gets extra tickets, and then doing our raffles. So
let's do it.
All right.
I'll be right back. Right back.
Lost Oakland. I just did kettlebell. I think cramped my hammy. Ew. Hate that. Hate that. Hopefully, a lot of pickle juice. I've been told pickle juice helps a ton with cramps. I used to do like frozen pickle juice shots. Ooh. Royal Rumble right now. It's Obafemi and Damian Priest in there. Entrant number 8. Who's it going to be? Javon Evans. Yeah, that's kind of lit. They're giving him a whole thing. Oh, my God. The whole screen just went Javon Evans. Huh. That's dope. Artemis brain sample. It's worth $2 to hear Raiders coach Kubiak. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, Javon just sprinted in. Ivan Mendoza, sorry, who's the great tuna? Not sure. Great Tuna's a guy who he was a loyal viewer, one of the OG real ones here at the Raiders Report. Sadly passed away this past year, but made a lot of friends here, made a lot of good connections here, and we always like to give him shout outs and just kind of remember him, because Mitch always says, you die twice, once when you actually pass away, and then twice when everybody forgets your name. So we try to make sure his name's remembered here, because he was an awesome guy and just, one of the OG, like I said, one of the OG legends here at Chat Sports and at the Raiders Report. Oh, why did this pop up? Artemis, appreciate the super chat though. Nathan, Runyon co-worker's nephew. Runyon co-worker's nephew. Mr. Iguana, that's kind of lit. Sorry. Just messaging my boss right now. Just messaging my boss. Sorry. Here we go. Runyon co-worker's nephew. Oh. Okay. Carter Runyon, co-worker's nephew. That's dope. Racer, Chris Jericho in the Rumble would be lit. They just brought in Mr. Iguana Man, who's like a, Mexican luchador wrestler, has a pet iguana. Pretty lit. Mr. Iguana. Love that. Kel coming in. All aboard! Choo-choo! Let me get you in there, Kel. Is a good channel. He does a good job. Sweet. All aboard. Choo-choo. Reminder, if you're just now joining us, we will be doing a raffle here. Oh, excuse me, in just a moment. Hope you find the Clint. Here are our Clint deals. $5 for a Kubiak ticket. We're giving away a Klint Kubiak 26 jersey because we are manifesting. We are on Klint Kubiak watch today. We are manifesting Klint comes to the Raiders this offseason. $10 equals 3 tickets. $20 Venmo duck race. We'll be doing that towards the end of the program. We're going to do a mailbag here first. Oh, Trick Williams coming in. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
I feel so out of the loop on all this
Dude,
stuff.
when he comes in, his music is like dun 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 dun, and the whole crowd goes, whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
Wait, did that other guy get eliminated?
Which guy?
The gigantic dude?
No, he's still in there.
Oh, okay.
He's in the corner right now.
He's taking a breather.
Oh, Mr. Iguana Man.
I
Missed
mean,
Mr. Iguana Man.
I'll say this. Mr. Iguana Man,
He just threw his iguana.
No chance he was winning.
Yeah, there was no chance he was winning.
No, there's just absolutely no chance.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
So, again, y'all, we're going to be live here. Still no news yet. I just saw Underwood Terrell. No, I don't have anything yet, man. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting just like all of y'all. Nathan Wolf, you're in the duck race, 20 to win, $120. I was hoping that we had at least something by now on Kubiak, but at the same time, I wonder if Kubiak doesn't want that information to go out. I'm waiting because I was hoping we could get something.
Robert, love you, appreciate you. I mean, but also be real, my guy. You know the rules about getting political in the chat. I don't want to have to put you in timeout. You're an OG. You watch it all the time. I try to be as non-political in the chat as I can, but Robert, if you could, you know the rules here, buddy.
Please, please, please. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, again, I want people to have their own opinion. I want people to care about things that are going on in the world. And, to me, my wife and I, we just had this conversation the other day. Obviously, me, I'm a white guy, right? I am. Not saying I don't deal with my own stuff. Not saying we don't deal with our own stuff. But, it's important for me to pay attention a little bit more closer to certain things that are happening in the world because, if I have kids, they're going to be mixed. But
Sorry,
here
Cody
at the
Rhodes.
Raiders Report, the only reason why I don't like politics in the chat is because it usually creates division. And my number one objective is to make sure Raider Nation is united. So all I ask is we go by the whole Flint Tropics here, ELE. Everybody love everybody. Everybody love everybody.
Cody Rhodes enters the Royal Rumble. Everybody, whoa.
Everybody love everybody. Right now we got 1,000 people here on today's show. And we're going to get into a mailbag. And then
this
as
is
soon
what I'm
as
going to
this
do.
mailbag is done.
This is what I'm going to do.
I'm listening.
This is going to be an all #Raiders mailbag because I get told all the time, you never go to anybody's content unless comment unless they super chat. You never do that. Da-da-da. Okay. If you super chatted, use the #Raiders to get a question in. This is going to be an all #Raiders mailbag because I'm tired of people saying, you never go to our comments. You never do this. Da-da-da. We do a lot. And this is one way I'm going to prove it right now. We're doing an all #Raiders.
Let's go.
So get your questions in now. #Raiders in the comment section to get in as El Grande Americano enters the Royal Rumble at number 12.
Jacob Harvey in the duck race. $20 Venmo. Mitchell Wren 365. Right now for a chance to win $130. Adam Schefter said 99% chance Clint Kubiak will be the Raiders' next head coach. I haven't seen that yet. And, again, I don't know. Schefter, though, I want to always believe Schefter, but Schefter also was like, every job is going to be filled by Wednesday.
We're also getting
Saturday.
We're also getting a lot of fake reports in the chat. So
I got you. And I mean, this is the time of the year where fake stuff pops up left.
Literally during your last, I don't know who it was. Somebody commented in the chat. They just announced that Kubiak's going to the Cardinals.
I promise you this: I'll know it before you do. If he goes to Arizona, I promise you this: I'll know it before you do. We'll see. But here's the other thing, man. I'm not trying to act. The last thing I will ever try to do is act like something that I'm not. And We do have good sources here. Doesn't mean I get everything. Uh-oh, what?
Oh, my goodness!
I have no idea.
The original El Grande Americano!
Chuck's so happy right now.
Ow! Chad Gable's back! The OG El Grande Americano!
Explain that in football terms.
All right, so the guy on the left, he was El Grande Americano. He got injured. The guy on the right, he came up like 2 weeks later and was like, I'm the real El Grande Americano. So there's the new El Grande on the right who's wearing the red, white, and green. And then the other El Grande is the shorter guy right there.
All right,
But the shorter guy's been injured.
Football terms.
It's like if AOC got injured and y'all drafted another guy who was AOC, and everybody's like, he's the new AOC. But then Aiden O'Connell, he comes back from injury, and it's like, who's the real AOC?
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Nathan's laughing. I want Joe Hendry. You know what, y'all? Here's what I want y'all to do. We are getting ready to get into our mailbag here. Got to get your hashtag Raiders in. Chug said he's only going to take hashtag Raiders questions.
Oh, no! He's trying to take off the OG El Grande Americano's mask. He doesn't do it. He eliminated him!
Oh, now he's got eliminated. He wasn't paying attention.
Both El Grande Americanos are out
Dude, this
now.
one guy is just moving through people. Could you, I mean, the thought of like a Royal Rumble, though, could you imagine like if it was like a UFC Royal Rumble?
Oh my, dude, they actually have that. But it's
not real.
No, it is. It's
not UFC. There's no way UFC.
No, it's in like Russia, but it's like 5v5 UFC. And if somebody gets knocked out, it's just like, then it's 5v4. Bro, it's crazy.
That's insanity.
It's crazy. If you've ever seen it, who is this?
That's crazy.
Royce Keys.
All right, how about this? Let's get through this mailbag because by the time we're done, they're going to be getting closer to number 30.
Yeah. I don't know who this is, actually. Royce Keys.
Again, y'all, just so you guys know, we're here for Kubiak.
Oh, that's Powerhouse Hobbs.
But also there's the Royal Rumbles going on right now.
I
have no idea about wrestling. This seems like a big deal, though.
Oh, yeah. So the guy that just came in, he's from AEW. He was known as Powerhouse Hobbs.
It's a big dude.
Yeah, dude. You don't get the name Powerhouse for nothing.
He's got some traps on him. He just picked him right up. What's happening here? Wild. All right, let's get into this. Come on.
Bam!
Come on.
Okay. We'll get into it here in just a moment.
Michael Miranda in the duck race. So I planned, y'all, on staying live today until after this mailbag, we will do some. We'll keep on answering questions. We're down to hang out. You guys want to do full-on Raiders Report happy hour. I'll give you an hour of Raiders happy hour where we'll answer questions. The only way that happy hour is going to happen, okay, is if we end up getting. Now, again, I'm not afraid to have some beers. I've been putting down some beers the entire time, okay? If you guys want to do a full hour of Raiders happy hour, if we get 3 bangs during the mailbag, I'll do a full-on hour. Whenever that mailbag ends, you guys will get an hour. I think you're probably going to get close to another 30 minutes to an hour anyway, I'm going to be honest. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to provide content that the nation wants. We're going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to throw some beers down. I got 6 happy dads left. That's all the happy dads I have left in the building.
I will say also, I saw Nathan Wolf's super chat. If you're just now joining us, don't be mad. We're doing an all #Raiders mailbag. So we'll get to all those super chats after. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a word yet, unfortunately, on Kubiak. I'm up here just like all of y'all. I wanted to go live today. I wanted to get some information on Kubiak. I've reached out to some people on Kubiak. I got nothing. I got nothing.
All right, here we go. You ready to go, Mitch?
Ready to rock? I'm ready to rock. Y'all ready to get it going? We haven't done a mailbag in a long time, and I like to do mailbags because it helps me see what y'all are thinking. It also helps everybody out there know that we are an interactive YouTube community, which is the #1 goal here of the Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz, your host of the Raiders Report, and it's mailbag time. And what you're going to see on today's show, I think, is proof of Raider fans are on pins and needles a little bit because there is uncertainty around Klint Kubiak. You could tell me that Kubiak's going to be a Raider, this report, that report. But until it happens, I am always going to be bad things seem to happen to the silver and black. Well, we lost out on Ben Johnson. Cliff Kingsbury backed out of a deal. You're going to see a lot of reactions from today's show around Raider Nation because today's the day Clint's supposed to have his second interview, which is why this mailbag is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go to Peter Porker. What a name and picture. If we don't get Kubiak, what are your thoughts about Evero? Oh, man. I think Ejiro Evero is the defensive coordinator. And to put this in the most, Raiders terminology that I possibly can, imagine if the Raiders were to hire Patrick Graham as your head coach. There would be some people out there that would be excited about it. But thinking of Klint Kubiak and thinking about Ejiro Evero, it's not even close to me. And I don't mean to be disrespectful towards him, but one of the things that I like to do is I like to go out and see what fan bases have to say, right? I respect Raider Nation a lot. I think a lot of y'all do. If Carolina lost to Ejiro Evero, I don't think Carolina Panther fans would be all that upset. That tells me almost everything I need to know. So if the Raiders had him as a head coach, would be a massive, massive letdown compared to having somebody like Kubiak. What up, Tim? If we don't get Kubiak, what about Shula? Shula would be number 2 for me. And when I originally did my video back in December saying, hey, the Raiders are going to end up firing Pete Carroll, my top 2 coaches, number 1, Klint Kubiak. Number 2 was Chris Shula. What concerns me is we haven't heard anything. And I mean anything about Shula. I know Vinny B last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, said the Raiders could show interest, but the report came out from Fowler that if the Raiders don't hire Kubiak, it kind of seems that their attention could end up turning to Ejiro Evero, which scares the absolute hell out of me. If I could pick between Shula and Ejiro Evero, it's not even close to me. Zorro, if Kubiak says no, then who do we go with? Based on reports, it sounds like it's going to be Ejiro Evero. And again, Fowler put that out there the other day, which I thought was interesting. If it was up to me, the other names that I would look at would be, I would look at Chris Shula. I would look at Mike LaFleur. I would look at Nate Scheelhaus. But the other name I would really look at is Sean McDermott. And because, to me, you can't look me dead in the eyes and say Ejiro Evero, who I get it, was a Raider, got some DC experience, worked underneath Sean McVay. But, there's no way you can look me in the eyes and say Ejiro Evero is going to be a better head coach than Sean McDermott. And I'm not even all that high on McDermott. Honestly, I think another name I would look at is Jim Schwartz. If Schwartz doesn't stay in Cleveland and you want to go defensive mind, that would be a name that I'd be much more willing to go with. But I do wonder if they decide to go with Evero. It's because the Raiders were burnt so bad last year by Pete Carroll and that staff because they did what they wanted to do. And Mark, so many years that he's hired, John Gruden did what he wanted to do. Josh McDaniels did what he wanted to do. Pete Carroll did what he wanted to do. If you're going to bring in a coach, you need a coach that buys into what you're selling. You need a coach that buys in and doesn't think that he's the smartest guy in the room, doesn't think that he's the only one that can be right, which has really crippled this team. So if you bring in a guy like Ejiro Evero, he's going to listen to Tom Brady. He's going to listen to John Spytek. So this is going to be the pinned comment here on today's show. We're talking a lot about Kubiak. And my biggest question out there is if we hire Kubiak, what are your expectations? So if the Raiders go out and hire Kubiak, how many games do you think he wins in year 1? My answer of what I'm hoping after this YouTube ad break. So many years when I do this show, I say, hey, I'm hoping the Raiders win 10 games. Hey, I'm hoping the Raiders win 9 games. 7 games is what I'm hoping for. And that might be a low bar. But the Raiders won 3 games last season. And really, that last game against Kansas City, this was way closer to a 2-1-win team than a 3-win team. Again, it's not saying a lot, but there's a reason why we're the number 1 overall pick. We're the number 1 overall pick because we need to be able to show growth. And if year 1 with a rookie quarterback, we're able to get to 7 games where we win, then I'm hoping that puts us in the 9 range in the next year, puts us in the 11 range the following year. We just need to be able to show that we're moving in the right direction. At the same time, though, you can make that correction in 1 year if you have the right pieces and the right people that are leading the ship. Let's go to Loyal Man. What up, bro? Mitch, is Jim Schwartz a DC possibility with Kubiak? I mean, I don't know if it's a possibility. It would be a possibility that I would bring in because if you bring in a first-time head coach in Klint Kubiak, he's going to be the head coach, offensive coordinator. He's going to be the coach of the offense. He's obviously the coach of the entire team, but bringing in that first-time head coach, I do think it's a smart thing to do to bring in a DC that's got a lot of that head coaching, qualifications. And Schwartz is not somebody I would ever want as a head coach, but there are certain people that do a damn good job being a coordinator. And Schwartz does a fantastic job being a coordinator. Quite frankly, I'm actually surprised Cleveland decided to go with Todd Monken over him. Mr. Marty Mart, if we land Kubiak, I would be happy to welcome Derek Carr back. The only way I'm welcoming Derek Carr back is if he is a quarterback coach, and that's it. Like, that's the highest qualification you can bring back, DC. Maybe he can be an assistant, but this idea of bringing back Derek Carr as a bridge quarterback, I actually don't think that that's a smart thing. Why? Because fans are going to buy into DC because DC is very well liked and respected, as he should be. But if you draft Fernando Mendoza, that needs to be your focus. And what I don't want is fans calling for bench Mendoza, put in Derek Carr. If you draft Mendoza, he's your starter, and you don't pull the plug on him. What up, Richard? Does the outcome of the game have any influence on Kubiak's decision? I don't think so, because it really shouldn't. What actually would concern me more, though, is if he lost. Because if he lost, maybe Kubiak's sitting there going, I don't know, maybe I'm not qualified to be a head coach. Maybe I should learn a little bit more here in Seattle and potentially do a better job learning as OC. If you win, though, if you win the Super Bowl and you go out there and you get that dub, I'm sitting there as Kubiak as a competitor, and I'm going, what's the next step, right? You win a Super Bowl, what's the next step? Winning a Super Bowl as an OC, the only next logical step is winning it as a head coach. So I do honestly think that winning a Super Bowl for Klint Kubiak makes it an easier decision for him to go, all right, now I'm ready to go try to win one as a head coach. You lose it, that might change it a little bit. Whether you win, whether you lose, if you plan on watching the big game, I hope that you get started with our sponsor here, Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app out there. And because the big game is almost here, there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season outright with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. On Prize Picks, how you play, it's up to you. And the lineup that you see up here on screen is the one that Reed made, and it's a power play. And if you want the biggest payouts, you should go for a power play. Prize Picks, though, also has the Drake May deal, which you can see 0.5 passing yards. I personally do not have a lineup yet, and I wonder if Zalesbo or Bayou or Rebel Montana do because of how passionate they are about Prize Picks. But I'm going to wait until this game does get a little bit closer because I want to be able to know whether or not I want to go more or whether or not I want to go less. And luckily, Prize Picks is very simple because that's all you got to do. Pick more, you pick less on two-player stats, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in. So join millions of users. Join me. Join the Chat Sports team. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Let's go to Raider Keys. What up, man? What's the likelihood Clint pulls out? Makes me nervous not getting a coach who actually wants to be. I'll say, I personally think that there is a one just win baby chance that he ends up pulling out. But because Gary Kubiak believes in spy tech, that could be the extra reason why he's going to end up taking that job. So I'm going to say 5% chance that he's not the Raiders head coach. What up, Jared? I heard Mark Davis offered Curt Cignetti a 5-year, $80 million. Have you heard? It's not true. You probably heard it on Facebook. Probably heard it somewhere else. The other thing, though, that should be like, oh, that's definitely not true. That's actually less money than what Indiana offered him. It's less years as well. Like, in all honesty, if the Raiders wanted to bring in Curt Cignetti, I think that if it's a 5-year, I think it's 5 years way, way closer to $200 million. Like, if you're going to make Curt Cignetti the next head coach of this team, I think you got to make him the highest paid coach. So it'd probably be like 5 years. Actually, that's still 5 years. Probably be $100 million, $20 million a year. $200 million is way too much. But he's got 8 years at Indiana. So if you're the Raiders, you probably got to go 8 years, probably close to that $180 million mark, which is insanity. JP Truckin, who has more yards with Kubiak in year one, Bowers or Genty? Oof. This is a phenomenal question. I'm going to go with Genty. And it's not anything against Bowers. It's just if you're bringing in Kubiak, he's going to want to run the football. And honestly, I think the head coach that you bring in, if he's an offensive-minded coach, we talk about Mendoza a lot. Mendoza. But the best friend to a young rookie quarterback is having a great running game. So I'll probably say that Genty outgains Bowers because if we're talking total yards, I think actually Genty's a lot closer to outgaining Bowers by 400 to 500 yards of total offense. Because I anticipate then Genty to be somewhere around that 1,700 mark, and I expect Bowers to be somewhere around that 1,200-yard mark. So I'm going to go with Genty here. But if you guys want to let me know, I kind of like this one. More yards in a Klint Kubiak Raiders offense in year one. Are you going Bowers or are you going to go Genty? Let me know down below. I'm going to go with Genty. Let's go to drama. You're next up here on the program. Mitchell, this is just my opinion, but behind a better O-line, I believe Genty wins Rookie of the Year. I think if the Raiders win more games, he wins Rookie of the Year. Like, if you actually look at it from a statistic standpoint, I think there's a more deserving player of offensive Rookie of the Year than Ashton Genty. But because the Raiders were so bad, because the offensive line was so bad, people didn't appreciate it. But again, he didn't quite get to 1,000 yards. I'm going to say he had close to 800 yards after contact. That's insanity. It's insanity. What up, Ditto? McDonald is the defensive coach, and his team is in the Super Bowl. Has Kubiak attributed? Absolutely. But the defensive guy is actually leading. Yeah, the defensive guy is actually leading. I mean, no doubt about it. But, like, at the same time, though, the reason why they're in this game is because they're doing the most with what they got. Like, I would look at a quarterback like Sam Darnold if I'm the Raiders because, let's face the facts here, Tom Brady said no to Sam Darnold. He said no to Sam Darnold. Wasn't interested in him. Raiders were more interested in Geno Smith than Sam Darnold. If you watch my video about who the top quarterback that I would have put with Chip Kelly, #1 on that show. If you don't believe me, look it up on YouTube. Raiders Report, Chip Kelly, look up quarterbacks to put with him. #1 on that list, Sam Darnold. Why? Because I just thought Sam Darnold was a better fit with Chip Kelly. It's another reason why I want people to watch this show. But if I'm Tom Brady, I'm going, I didn't believe in Sam Darnold. So that's either Tom was that off, which he clearly was, but I think that's also a tip in the cap to Kubiak of you were the offensive coordinator that got a quarterback to win 14 games. Yeah, he didn't have as good of numbers that he did in Minnesota, but, like, you chose Geno Smith over Sam Darnold. That guy was able to help Sam Darnold get to where he is. That's impressive to me. What up, Rob? I think as a Raiders fan, we're just so used to getting the bottom of the barrel for coaches and quarterbacks that we're not excited about. You're right, dude. You know, like, I think that's the other part about why I'm so excited this offseason. I've done this show for 8+ years, over 5,000 videos on this channel. You know, we've had close to 125 million views in the history of the Raiders Report. Never have the Raiders chose my #1 candidate. I mean, they usually go with guys that I want no part of, right? Josh McDaniels wasn't even on my top 10 list. Pete Carroll, my original list. I don't believe Pete Carroll was in my top 10 list. I don't believe even, I'm trying to think. Bisaccia I was more on board for. I was also more on board for AP, and I hate to admit it, but it's the truth. But for the first time ever, the Raiders might actually go with my number one candidate. No more excuses, right? I mean, last year I said John Spytek thinks the way that I do. And based on what I heard, I thought that was going to be true. And I hope Spytek shows this year that he's willing to invest in the trenches. But Kubiak's my number one guy, and he's been my number one guy. And that's got to fire up fans a little bit. I hope also this fires you up, the fact that we're doing a Raiders Report meetup in San Jose, California. What's crazy is it's less than a week away. Call to reserve your spot. Friday, February 6th, 7 to 10 p.m. These are the times that I will guarantee you I'm there. If a lot of people stay, dude, I have no problem staying later, right? We stay later on this program all the time. But this is more, if we don't have a lot of people, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot of people. Going to be a lot of people. So to make sure, you might want to call to reserve your spot. Fairway Zone Sports Bar and Lounge in San Jose, California. What up, Christian? What if Kubiak doesn't want Mendoza? Then he doesn't get the job. Because Kubiak's the favorite, that tells me he wants Mendoza. And, the other thing that we just got to be able to face the facts with, it's so hard to find a quarterback. It's hard to find the right guy. And the Raiders the past 3 seasons are the perfect example of it. You don't get guys like Mendoza that are staring at you in the face too often. And we need somebody that changes a culture. We need somebody that is a proven winner. We need someone that shows up when the lights are at the brightest. That's literally who Fernando Mendoza is. And the numbers absolutely prove it. And, if you're going to be somebody that just looks at box scores, you're only going to be somebody that looks at the stat sheet, it might not always add up for you for Mendoza. But if you watch the college football playoffs, you can't tell me that he wasn't absolutely everything that you look for in a franchise quarterback. Somebody that not only makes himself better, not only makes the offense better, somebody that makes defense, special teams, that entire unit better. That's why I want Fernando Mendoza to be the number one overall pick. Let's go to James. Chances we trade AOC and a pick for Spillane, 0%. New England is not going to move on from Spillane. He's a captain. That won't happen. In terms of signing Cousins, you could look at it, but how much are you willing to spend on Cousins? I actually think it's just a lot smarter if we keep Aiden O'Connell at the price he's at, $2 million, compared to paying Kirk Cousins $15 million a year. I think if you bring in Cousins to be a backup, which he just doesn't want to be, I want to be very clear on that, he wants to be a starter. And if you're going to bring him in as a backup, I think you're paying him $15 million a year. I'd rather use that $15 million on all the other needs we have, save that money, because I know Aiden O'Connell, who is limited as an athlete, he is limited in certain areas as a quarterback, is a very smart QB, is a great teacher, and would really help out Mendoza a lot. What up, Jansen? I'd consider trading first pick for 4 to 5 firsts if we had only 6-7 picks and negative cap space. Luckily, we have all the cap space. Luckily, we have 10-plus draft picks. And I'm with you. I'm not interested in trading the number one overall pick. What up, Tim? Kubiak, fix line, get a veteran wide receiver, and get an aggressive DC. Who would be your DC pick? Raheem Morris. And if anybody wants to go check out the video that I did, it's actually going to be down in the comments and in the description of this show. Over the week, I think it was on Friday, I recorded my top DC candidates if Klint Kubiak's hired. It's why I want people to hit that subscribe button. I'm not saying that those are going to be the only guys that they look at. It's just my job here on the show is to do my best job figuring out where the Raiders could possibly go. And I do sit here and I wonder, can the Raiders go with Raheem Morris? I think it would be an outstanding, and I mean an outstanding pickup for a first-time head coach like Clint to go out and get somebody that's got head coaching experience. Now, I know I did not get to everybody's question here on this mailbag. Luckily for you, I have social media where you can always hit me up. I'm at MitchellRenz365, and at the end of the day, if you don't see your questions on a mailbag, don't blame me. Blame Chuck, because he's the one that picks them. No, I'm just kidding. Appreciate all y'all that are tuning in. Appreciate all y'all that always pull up. And reminder, if and when the Raiders hire Clint, we're going to be going live. We're going to be getting definitely wet and wild on the Raiders Report. What up, LCA? Did you mean Cooch Kubiak? Because I love Cooch. Yikes. How many people are left in this thing?
We're on entrant 27, so we're getting close to 30.
Entrant 27.
Oh, wait. What is going on?
Horrible take from Austin. What's the take, Austin? What do you got for me?
Oh, wow. Jacob Fatu.
So we are getting close to the
Also,
Royal Rumble. Here's the deal, y'all.
Roman Reigns is absolutely killing it right now.
Roman Reigns is slaying right now. Friendly reminder, I'm going to be live here, let's say, for another 50 minutes, okay?
What was even
We
that,
plan
Cody?
on getting out of here at 5:30. If anybody wants to extend that show, we're going to need some big-time things to end up happening, just so you know. But what we're going to do, we're going to put some beers down. The cuts are done. If you bang or you hear me bang, beers will go down. I got 6 beers left. I think I got 6 beers left in me. Literally, because we only have 6 Happy Dads left. What up, Nathan Wolf? Chugs, I have a great story for you. My grandpa poured a beer on Mr.
Foogie's head when hitting bumblebees with cane. Didn't speak English. Said, "You old mother effer."
Is that a real story? Is that a wrestler? Am I missing something here?
Oh, yeah, he's an OG wrestler. That's kind of wild.
That's insanity. Insanity.
Also, Vinthrak bringing the vibes.
My guy, Venthrak, Mount Raider Moore's very own Venthrak. Friendly reminder to y'all, if you want to get in our duck race, $20 Venmo, Mitchell Renz 365. Right now you have a chance to win $140. The deals on today's show are as followed. If you want to get in duck race, that's the QR code. You can add me as a friend. Don't be afraid to scan that bad boy. We are going to be giving away a Klint Kubiak jersey today because, again, we're here for a reason. I'm here all eyes on Mr. Kubiak. If you send in a $5 super chat, you get 1 Kubiak ticket. You send in a 10, you get 3. If you send in a $20 Venmo, you're in our duck race. If you bang, I'm going to give you 100 raffle tickets for that Kubiak jersey, and I'm going to put down a beer. If you put in a $100 Venmo, that's a bang. I put down a beer, and you get 200 tickets for the shot to win that Kubiak jersey.
Zalesbo, we don't know what time the interview is.
I was under the impression it was actually this morning.
He also is meeting with the Cardinals today.
So, and both of those interviews are in Seattle. Both are in Seattle. So Arizona's reps went to Seattle. The Raiders reps also went to Seattle. Yep.
Oh, my God.
I do think AOC is a good quarterback, but thinking he's anything more than a starter is a little bit foolish. He's a great backup, and that's okay. Like that's such an important job in the NFL to have a really good backup quarterback, especially when you have a rookie. It is, man. It's an important job. You can't tell me it's not. Yeah, you can't tell me it's not. Ooh. All right, let's keep rolling through some of these super chats here on the program.
We're actually all caught up.
Oh, we're all caught up? Perfect. So, like I said, I planned on staying live today.
LA Knight eliminated. I did think we had a couple people who said LA Knight. Or at least one.
So who's left?
Left, Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Jay Uso, Logan Paul.
Oh, there's a lot of people. I thought there was only 2 people left because I saw number 29.
Randy Orton, number 29, and that means 30. A lot of people are thinking Chris Jericho was with WWE for like 12 years, probably longer than that. He went to a different wrestling brand, and a lot of people are thinking he might be entrant number 30.
Do we not think, do they get paid extra for winning? Like, who would ever decide to be number 1? Or it's just...
It's basically like, think of WWE as like just a TV show. And the script writers and the producers, they all these are actors.
I know.
And so the script writers are basically telling these people based on their storylines and who they think is most popular, you're going to win and you're going to exit at this point. Like they tell all the people.
Wild.
Randy Orton.
Like, this is something that I would love to be able to go see live Watching it on TV, I can't. I don't think I would do it.
Chris says in the stream so we can get the Kubiak update. That does seem
Honestly,
how it
Chris,
goes.
that's usually how it goes sometimes, man.
It be like that sometimes.
It does
And
be like that.
we might not get the
sometimes.
update today because, like Mitch said, probably won't, with the Super Bowl happening this week, probably won't get an absolute answer right now.
This is my Lakers. It's Rebels team. We bleed gold. For the shot, beat the Knicks. Marsh is going to be mad on Monday. That's his team. Go Lakers. Lakers-Knicks action. All right. All right. I got you.
Adrenaline out of blood. Dude, Javon.
Mr. L, you're telling me WWE is fake? No way. I know,
Dude,
wild.
Javon Evans winning would be absolute electricity. Oh! RKO! All right, here's entrant number 30. Let's see. Is it Chris Jericho or is WWE selling us right now?
Chugs is on the edge of his seat.
Here we go. Who's it going to be? It's Gunther. Are you shitting me?
You're upset?
Yeah, like, he's already the champion.
Well, doesn't that make sense then?
No, because the winner of the Royal Rumble, I mean, he would face the other champion.
This guy's the champion?
Yes. And, what are we doing?
He looks like he chugs beers.
Bro, his number one move, and, WWE fake this, that, or the other. Bro, he actually is known for, like, how they do, like, the slaps on the chest?
Yeah.
He's known for actually doing it, like, legit the hardest. Like, everybody gets quiet, and he goes and, like, smacks the shit out of people's chests.
Dude, there's just so many people just body slamming each other.
See?
There's just so many people just body slamming each
Bam!
other.
Kick to the face.
All right, let's go to Los Oakland. I just
Oh, wait,
did.
that's an old
Oh,
one.
sorry. Wrong way. End the stream so we can get a little bit of Kubiak update. I mean, again, y'all, I was hoping that we got something today. I mean, I literally wanted to come in on Saturday because I knew Kubiak was going to be interviewing.
Oh, wait, Gunther's not the champion. Yep, you're right. I'm dumb. But still, he was already in a fight earlier. Why do we have... I don't want to see Gunther again. I don't know. I hate it. I was also...
Me. Yes.
It's also one of those things where, kind of like what you said about other people watching our videos, when you expect something to happen and it doesn't happen, you're like, it's kind of lame.
Kind of lame. All right, y'all. So here's what we're going to do. I don't have any more super chats here, so
Let's run the duck race first.
I'll say I want to run the duck race. I wanted to hang out until, like I said, I'm down to hang out until 5:30 my time. That would be another 40 minutes. It would be happy hour. I don't have any other super chats to get to. Somebody said back to football, Austin. I hear you. We got to get some questions flowing in here. We are actually all caught up. So because we are all caught up, we're going to do the duck race. We're going to do the jersey raffle. And if you want me to stay here until 5:30, then we got to get the happy hour going here a little bit.
Hey, Rigo Munez.
I have more.
Learn
beers,
how to
Bobby.
crop a picture, you boomer.
I do have more beers.
Absolute boomer.
I do have more beers, but rules are rules, Jansen. Rules are rules. I just saw Jerry Kester. You're in, and then I see Bayou Raider also in, which puts us at 20 to win, $160 here on the channel. Shout out to the 530 from Jess. If you guys want to let me know where your area code is, let me know.
Where are you watching?
I'm from the 570. We're down here in the 214 right now. I'm hoping I can go get home to that wife and pup, brother, from Bayou. Hey. What's crazy is, again, I can't wait to hang out with Chuck. Chuck today was a little bit bummed that I was heading into work, I'm not going to lie. But I do get to hang out with him tomorrow, which I'm hyped about. No, he's been super bummed that, like, all the snow's gone, which I'm ecstatic that all the snow's gone.
All right.
Today, though, was freaking freezing. Man.
We're going to run the duck race first, like we said. Oh, wait. That's different. There we go.
All right, so duck race here. We're going to get a quick shuff in, get a little quick shuff in. Final chance to get in. I'm looking down. Can you add Elias for me? Elias, you're in, and then Greg Vack also in. 20 to win, $180 here on the program. The names that we got in: Crash Dog, Frank, LCA, Justin, Phillip, Anthony F., Anthony Green, Gabriel Ruiz 3 times, Rustin Long, Nathan Wolf, Jacob
4
Harvey,
people left.
Michael Miranda, Jerry Kester, Bayou, Elias, Greg Vack. If you did not hear your name, holla at you, boy.
Oh, my gosh. 4 people left.
Holla at you, boy.
Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Gunther.
Again, I don't watch WWE. I feel like there'd be a...
We did have
would there
2
be
people say Roman Reigns and
Yep.
one person say Logan Paul.
Oh, boy.
And I'm thinking Roman Reigns is probably...
The favorite?
I would say out of these 4, Roman Reigns makes the most sense. Also, he's been out of the WWE for a little bit because he was in the new Street Fighter movie, so he took some time off.
There's no way they're going to let Paul win, right?
I mean, he's a great heel. Like, when you think about people who, like, get people to hate on them, Logan Paul's great at people hating him.
Sure. What? I mean, this... You just got 4 dudes right now just staring at each other
Oh, yeah.
in all 4 corners of this thing. I will admit, this would be so much fun.
Dude, we gotta go
A
to
Chat Sports Royal Rumble? Are you kidding me?
we gotta go to the dude, we might need a Chat Sports Fight Night from what we were talking about earlier.
Well, that would be stupid. Oh, boy. Oh, Paul almost just got thrown out. All right, I don't see anybody else in. 3, 2, 1. Let's run it. Let's run it. Jack, still no news on Kubiak, man. I got nothing for you. I got nothing for you. I wish I had more. Gabriel Ruiz right now out to lead, though. Now it's Rustin Long. Watch out for Anthony Green. L.A. Crash Dog. They're on the very bottom. Winner of this race going to go home with $180 here on the program. Is anybody pulling up to our event in San Jose? Let me know, let me know, let me know.
Oh, it's just Roman and Gunther now.
Oh, boy.
I think it's gonna be Roman Reigns. Phillip
Bogert's got the lead. Watch out for Ruiz. Ruiz. Uh-oh, who's this down here? Jerry Kester. Little LCA action. It's fun to stay at the LCA. Shout out to Lord Cameron Abbott getting the dub.
Oh. Yep, Roman Reigns.
LCA getting the dub.
Not quite yet.
Congrats, my brother. Congrats to Lord Cameron Abbott for getting the dub. Shout out to my guy.
Oh my gosh, he's trying to put him in a sleeper hold.
So we technically have to wait until this is over, right?
Because
the Fernando,
Two-
the Kubiak jersey.
Yeah, because if Roman Reigns wins, that means Anthony Green and I'll have to check one other person get 30 tickets.
Yes, Crash Dog will definitely be there. Crash Dog will show up with us. And again, if anybody out there from Mount Raidermore, I don't know if everyone has seen the Mount Raidermore chat, but I would like for us to be able to get together before the event and then all show up together. I don't know if that's possible. I know some people are traveling in pretty far, but I would really, really like to see that happen. Raider Mitch, yes, the interview is in Seattle. Nathan Wolf, you guys ever been to Buc-ee's? Oh my God, yeah. No, he could speak on it way better than I can.
Dude, have I been to Buc-ee's? Yes.
That's like asking, have you been to the Raiders Report?
You got to try. I mean, if you want the full experience, Roman Reigns wins it. So, a Raider, 217, you're getting 30 tickets.
And then who else?
Anthony Green.
Anthony Green.
Maybe one other person. off the top of my mind, Nathan Wolf, you got to get the fudge. You got to try the candied nuts, like the candied pecans or candied almonds or stuff like that. That stuff's delicious. You got to try the brisket. As weird as it sounds, you got to try like the barbecue, like either brisket or sausage sandwich is bomb. Beaver nuggets are great.
I see a Raider.
Anthony Green sent one too.
Anthony Green.
And I think that might be it.
I'm going through right now. I don't see anybody else. Nope, that's it. That is it. Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh,
the beef jerky's good. Nathan, the beef jerky's really good.
I mean, I'll say I have not really heard anything bad there. I mean, honestly, shower. Go for a shower there. I heard the showers are immaculate.
Yeah. No, I don't think they have showers. They have a restroom.
I thought they have showers there.
No, it's just restrooms. At least none of the Buc-ee's that I've been to. The bathrooms are
I know the
incredible.
bathrooms are immaculate. I thought they had showers there for truck drivers. But
no,
truck drivers aren't allowed to go there, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
Truck drivers actually hate Buc-ee's because
they don't
let them there because multiple reasons. One, because I think
right.
the way
bathrooms
they do
are
it
clean though.
Yeah, the way they do the parking lot, it's cheaper for them to do it in a way that doesn't allow trucks in there.
Yep.
And then two, they get so much traffic that they're worried that if truck drivers try to pull in, there will be accidents.
No, you're right. I was gonna say the bathrooms there are clean, but they don't have showers. That's right.
Yeah.
A Raider raffle's about to be right now.
Right now, I'm actually literally about to copy and paste the names over as we speak.
I know we still have over 1,000 people here, so here's what's going to happen. We're about to do this raffle for a Kubiak jersey, and then I'm going to end up hopping on out of here. What time is this interview today? I was under the impression it happened this morning, but we have not gotten any update around it. I have not gotten any update around it. Somebody said, Mitch, I thought you were staying. Well, again, I said I would stay longer, but, to me, I was going to stay longer if we were down to get into a happy hour a little bit. And that's okay. I'm not saying it always has to be like that. It doesn't always have to be like that. That was more my impression. So, just so y'all know.
All right.
All right, so the winner of this goes home with a Klint Kubiak Raiders jersey.
Hashtag find my Clint.
Hashtag find my Clint.
Can we get that going?
Probably. Honestly, I don't think it'd be even that difficult.
Could you tweet something out and just be like, waiting on the news, hashtag find my Clint?
That's actually probably the most appropriate time to do it. Probably the most appropriate time to do it. All right, here we go. 3, 2.
Can you spin it?
The Clint. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Whoever this lands on, you get a Klint Kubiak jersey. L.A. Crash. L.A. Crash, dog. Klint Kubiak jersey.
Now,
he banged on Venmo, so that was 200.
He had 200. So, he was a heavy fit. Him and Riverside had probably
the most.
Half of
most of them.
They had a lot of tickets.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Mitch, was the Arizona interview in the morning as well, or is that later? I was under the impression the Raiders interview was actually first. Arizona was second. Again, that's what I was under the impression.
Just going through the last super chats. Nico, Jugs, top wrestler intros. I got to put Rey Mysterio up there. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. I love Trick Williams and Oba Femi's entrances too. Your entrances are awesome. I mean, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Edge. You think you know me. Those go hard. I will say the Oba Femi and Trick Williams, both incredible. Both incredible. Another super chat came in from Nathan Wolf. We talked about this one going to Buc-ee's.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then he sent in Nico Last sent in a super chat. The mythical Clint Torres.
That's from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. The mythical Clint Torres. All right, guys. Today's show, I had a lot of fun. We've been live now exactly for 3 hours. I know we really didn't get any information, which
Three and a half.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, 3.5 hours. Been live for 3.5 hours, and here's the thing. As soon as I log off, if there ends up being news that ends up coming out, I'll make a short on it. I'll make you guys a little video. It's why I hope that you subscribe to the Raiders Report. I don't typically go live on Saturday, so to have literally over 1,000 people here almost all day with us does mean a lot to me. I think the Raiders Report, again, like I don't know what's going to happen in the cycle. What I know is I was hoping that we would get some sort of information, and it is what it is. It's good to have Chugs back. It was good to, I think, see a bunch of y'all be back in the building with us. And obviously, when we do get some news on Kubiak, I will do everything in my power to keep you guys up to date. The next time I'm going to be live is going to be on Tuesday, which actually that's our final live show before Chugs and I come out to San Jose, because we come out Thursday morning. We'll be out in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then we fly back on Saturday. So there's actually only one more live show until this happens. And the reason why I want a lot of Raider fans to go to this is because I want to do more meet and greets. Like, I've talked to my bosses before about, honestly, like me going around the U.S. and being able to do Raiders Report meetups, being able to do Raiders Report parties. And the more people that show up and show out, it then allows me to be able to go to restaurants, businesses, and be like, hey, we did this Raiders Report meetup. Would you want this at your venue? Because I know this. Like, if you guys show up, it's going to be more business for that place. And I'm not doing it for them to make business. I'm doing it so we can have a good time and be able to put some faces to names. Because I think when you're able to put faces to names, it just makes this community a lot better. So, shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to Riverside Raider MVP today. Riverside Raider, the MVP today. So, party at the office from Rebel. Dude, I would love to have a party here, but I don't think our bosses would ever do it. We just have way too much equipment and technology. Like, if we did like a Raiders Report party, it'd probably be like invite only. In all honesty.
Well,
also, this building is impossible to get into.
Also, we would have so much more fun if we just went to a bar. Like,
yeah,
you come in here, like, it would be like if you went to just like an office space and you're like, let's throw a party here. Like, a lot of desks, a lot of staplers and rulers.
For measuring. You know what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. The next time you will see me live, if we get breaking news, or Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, here on the Raiders Report.